Welcome to the show. Everybody is Dee. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into some things. I hope you're ready, cause this is what I do. It's all about different perspectives in here. Where you gon' get the real, no BS in here. We keep it real as we can. You can tell your truth and feel comfortable here. DeeDee's reactions, videos and live things. DeeDee's reactions, she's about to put on a show. These reactions, just to let you know, like, share, subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Keep it real, keep it DeeDee's reactions. What you gon' do? DeeDee's reactions. We about to go live. Subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl, DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So happy Friday. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, y'all. I do apologize for being late. My son ended up throwing up, y'all, so I had to see what was wrong with him, but he's good. So please forgive me for being late, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate everybody in the building, everybody watching, everybody who supports the channel. Thank y'all so much for supporting what I do. All right. So listen, happy Friday. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button as you come into the building, y'all. It is free to like. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the stream, and also support the channel via Super Chat or Cash App. That really helps the channel to grow. All right. So I appreciate you guys in advance. So we gonna hop right into this. I do apologize for being late, you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. C. Irving, yes, in the building already supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Says, hey, DeeDee, I'll definitely catch the replay after the weekend. Could you please give my friend Maurice a shout out? It's his birthday today. We are in Budapest. Oh, wow. With 2+ brothers to celebrate it. Oh, my God. That is amazing. Shout out to you, Maurice. And happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your birthday and many, many more. And also shout out to you, C. Irvin, for being a supporter of the channel. I appreciate you, bro. And thank you so much. Y'all have fun in Budapest. Oh, my goodness. Have a good time. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Shout out to you, Maurice, once again. Happy birthday. Thank y'all. Shamari Fears in the building. Ryan from the 8. Night Call 411. Hustle the Great, Successful MD, Lorenzo Redmond. Shout out to y'all. Keel Hall. I hope I'm saying your name right. G13. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Happy Friday. I hope y'all are doing well. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and hop into the stream, y'all. I want to give my thoughts and my commentary on some topics, so make sure you are willing to chime in as well and give your thoughts. Also, super chat if you want your comments to be read, and also make sure you guys are just hitting the like button that supports the channel in a big way. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hop into it, you guys. Y'all see the title: Modern Women Are Cooked and Blame Men plus Women plus basically a woman mad for being called an old B plus more. So we gonna get into it, y'all. I want to first reference this video from Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is in Azar's podcast, where they had Amber Rose on there. So I saw that. I thought it would be interesting to share, to kind of, give more of an idea of where women think, how modern women think, and how the majority of these women think the same, and why the majority of them are in the predicaments that they're in, right? And it's not that this behavior can't change. It just shows you how vast this mindset is in modern times, and why so many modern women will be single, because the things that they look for in men, the things that they believe they should be looking for in men, and how they should present themselves from men is far from what men actually want in women, and why there's a disconnect. So I say it all the time. I mean, it's no different. And, either women are going to realize the truth and start to make some changes and adjust, or it's just going to be a horrible situation across the board because we won't be creating families and communities that will help us to continue to thrive in our culture. And it could definitely speaks volumes to the potential future of where we stand when it comes to building families and communities. So I want to get y'all thoughts per usual. Make sure you guys chime in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on this. But one in the chat. Can y'all hear me good? Is the audio good? Do I need to adjust it? Can y'all hear me clearly? Let me know. One in the chat if the audio is good, if y'all can hear me clearly. One in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. Just want to make sure before I get to yapping. Because y'all know I get to talking and then sometimes y'all can't even hear me. Baby. So I'm going to assume, okay, good. Thank you. Y'all can hear me. All right. Good. Night Call says, hope little man feels better. Team Ginger. Yeah, he I don't know what's wrong, but he's better. You know, after he threw up, he feeling better. His father has him looking at him, watching him, but he's good. But yeah, I had to tend to him. He makes me nervous when anything is wrong with him. I panic with the quickness because I'm like, baby, let's see what's going on because this live would have to be postponed. But y'all know how it is with children if you have children. But anyway, let's get into it, y'all. So I want to get into this first clip. Make sure you let me know what you think in the chat. Here we go.
The guest about some of the views.
I asked you about the women being cooked. Paul says that overseas women are better.
They just got more discipline. They got
But
more.
the reason I
actually
say
not
they
mad
have
at
more
them.
discipline is because of this. The
Because
men
they
are
got
different.
more cultural family values.
Yeah, I think he's
They
right.
do.
You
But
know what I'm saying? They
wanna
got
know
more
why though? Because
cultural
the men have
catering
that
to their
too.
men and how to
Keep it real. The
It's
men
true.
have that. The men are raised to provide
You
for
talking
a
about
woman.
the overseas men?
Yeah. They're raised
They
to
are
provide for a
culturally,
woman.
yes.
Culturally,
Okay,
right
yeah,
off the
for
bat.
sure.
So if I feel
So we
safe,
should just all just.
Paul, listen, you have to understand. Listen,
Yeah,
you
I
have to
agree.
understand that men are the leaders of society. We
Right.
live in a patriarchy. We're very comfortable living in a patriarchy. But when men don't do what they have to do for us,
Right.
we're beneath you guys. We're okay with that.
Exactly.
Right?
Not in this day and time.
Well,
No,
we're
because
This
of
day and
y'all
time are
though.
different.
But you guys set the tone.
Just like you said, the masculinity is up on women.
But
and
that's
But
because
they
because
get to
you
their little
made us
sexy
masculine.
vibe.
Because
and
of
all
what?
this.
Listen to what she's
Okay,
saying.
my bad.
Now, wait a second, because I did hear Successful says, Dee, I can't see my super. You can't see your super chat? Oh my God. I don't know what's wrong with that. Let me see something here. I don't try it again, Successful MD. I don't know. I have no clue. I only see one on here. I don't see any others. Maybe it didn't go through. Successful MD. They charge you to. Oh my God. Oh my God. I might have to look into that. Successful MD. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I have no. But I'm gonna have to check into it. Maybe it'll pop up later. I don't know. But so if it did that, you're gonna have to like let them know. Like when you get charged, like go ahead and maybe dispute the charge or something and maybe redo it. Or you might have to dispute that because I don't know why that's happening and it's not showing. And it has something to do with YouTube, Google for sure. I'm sorry that's happening. I don't know why that's happening, Successful MD. But dispute the charge for sure. And maybe it's just a glitch in YouTube. I don't know. Because I see Irvin's, but I don't see yours. Maybe it'll pop up. I don't know. I do apologize for that. I don't know why that's happening. But to get back to what Amber said, because Amber Rose, and this is the idea that many women have. This is the idea that many women have when it comes to their masculinity, and how they treat men and how they think men are supposed to respond to it, y'all. It's just so a lot of these women, you hear a lot of these women say that they're masculine because men made them that way. And nobody ever asked them, how did the man make you that way? Because there are conflicting reports when it comes to the Bonnet Crew Society members of America, right? There are conflicting results or conflicting responses. There are women who are saying they are masculine because, and I know y'all have heard it before, there are women who are saying they are masculine because they had to go out in the workforce, right? If I'm lying, I'm flying. And I don't seem to be flying. They're saying that women became masculine because they had to go out in the workforce and they had to run their work environment and they had to be the CEO over here, as if there are so many CEOs out there, black women. But anyway, they're saying they had to be masculine at the work, directing people and telling people what to do, and they had to be in a strong, masculine, firm stance to get the job done, to be taken seriously and things of that nature, right? So that's what some argue is why they're masculine. But then you have others who say men in relationships are making them masculine because they have to do everything, and I guess the men are lacking and the men are not holding their own and the men are not leading, and so they have to do all of that is what they're claiming. But in a lot of these situations, that is not the case. And what you tend to see is a lot of these women who are deflecting and they don't want to take on their responsibility. Now, look, all of this, there may be some examples of all of this, right? I am not oblivious to what's going on in this big old world that we live in, and that all of these things, all of these examples could have some merit, that it could be true to some extent, but this is not the majority. We know that a lot of the women were not raised to be submissive women. They were raised in a masculine environment where their mothers was leading the household. They were raised in a matriarch. They were raised by a bunch of women running the show. And these women taught them as set by their examples how they should move in a relationship and how they should move when it comes to that they run the show. And the man supposed to just follow their lead, but do whatever she says. I know for a fact that a lot of women have ruled in their households and run their households this way. So if your daughters, and admittedly so, many young women have said, I watched my mother, she ran that household. My father or my stepdad just did what she said. See, it's like you want to blame the men on every front, but once again, that accountability, ooh, baby, that's something they don't want to accept at all, in no way, shape, or form. And that's my issue that I have, and that's the issue that I see. A lot of women don't want to take accountability for any role in any of this because they just want to stick it all on the men, and I think that's where they miss out. Night Call 411, thank you for the super chat, says, wait, didn't women want it to be treated equal and independent? Isn't all these things from work to CEO adulting? It is, but this is where women contradict themselves, Night Call. They contradict themselves. You say one thing, when you get it, now you move the goalposts and now you want something else. But you want men to just conform to all of these changes. You want men to just adjust to y'all ups and downs, back and forth. Mood swings is what I call them, because a lot of women definitely have them. A lot of women are very contradicting and conflicting on the things that they say they want. Because when you want something, you get it. And then when you get it, you move the goalposts. You want something else. That's a flip-floppery if I have not seen it. And this is how a lot of women move. And when it comes to real life and dealing with real people, men don't have time for that. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Successful MD, I don't know what's going on with yours, because seeming like other people are able to do the super chat. I don't know what's going on, Successful MD, with yours, but I guess we're going to figure it out. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate you. But let's get back into it, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah, well, okay, if you're the leader, right, and I'm following you, we're following you, right? And we start to have masculine energy, but you're the leader. That means you did something wrong for us to have this masculine energy. We're not the leaders of society, right? If somebody came in with a gun right now, I'm not running behind her. I'm running behind y'all. I'm not thinking that she's gonna save me. I'm running behind a big, strong man that's going to save me.
The first thing we're looking at is you.
Yeah.
Well, if a woman is presenting masculine tendencies in a relationship, what do you want the man to do? That's the question. I don't think they be asking the right questions. So what would you expect? Should you want a man to make you feminine? how does a man make you feminine? What exactly would he have to do? And see, the problem with that is because you're dealing with men and men have testosterone and men are aggressive by nature. When you have these situations where these women are barking up to men, and a lot of these women aren't coming like, so nice. A lot of these women will get in your face and put their hand in your face and push your head and talk to you crazy, real dirty, real slick. So when women are doing that to their man, what do you expect him to do? How do you expect him to move in order to put you in your feminine frame? What you want him to do? Grab you and shake you? You want him to knock your head between the washer and the goddamn dryer? What do you propose that men do to get you back in your feminine role? Because there have been examples of this, but I don't think women like that either, because then they call that control. So it's like, you on one hand, you don't want a controlling man. Men are controlling, right? But what do you propose they do when you are out of frame, when you are out of your feminine nature, when you bucking up to him and calling him out his name and all that? What do you want a man to do? You want him to sit back and just let you have your way, or what? See, this is the problem, and it's always an excuse. They're moving the excuse pole or goal, or have moving the excuse goal post. And it's just going back in circles. You want a man who's emotionally intelligent so he can deal with you and handle your foolishness. But where in all of this do you as a woman take accountability and change your masculine, toxic ways? When do you work on yourself to change it? Why is it that a man always have to just deal with you and handle you? Why can't you figure out how to change your ways instead of imposing that onto the men and just expecting them to take it? I don't think women are innately toxic. I don't think that's a trait that we just have as women. We just supposed to be toxic. No, it's something that you picked up along the way and you don't want to change it. So why do men just have to accept it when y'all won't accept that same from a man? If he's just toxic and just acting a fool towards you, y'all call that controlling, narcissist, abusive. Why can't it be called the same for you and you work on yourself as opposed to him having to just sit there and take it? That's a problem. Let's continue. Hold on. Successful MD, I hope it's working. DeeDee Braxton Woods, oh Lord. Just letting you know that your assessment of women's ridiculous behaviors are spot on. I'll send you some personal experience. Thank you. I appreciate you, Successful MD. It looks like it's working, so I hope it's working for you, Successful MD. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat, and thank you so much for the support. Successful MD also says, real men don't sign up to be animal trainers. Nope. Right, like that's crazy. The fact that they think that is what men should do. I don't think that's what they should do at all. Just as much as they wouldn't accept an abusive man, a man who's abusive to you because you don't know how to act, and then he uses his force and his masculinity to make you submissive, like make you. So anytime you say a man, so that they use this in a way to use as an excuse for their behavior, or a man should make you feminine. Okay, how do you don't know what that entails? So if he grabbed you and shake your ass and make you feminine, then what? It ain't gonna work that way either. Because how does one make somebody? You know what I mean? It's just, what are you supposed to do? Make you feminine by letting you pop off by the mouth and talk real seedy and crazy and slick, and you use your abusive tongue and your abusive nature toward him, and he's supposed to sit back and just laugh and say, oh, ha, ha, ha. Oh, you're just masculine. I'm just going to sit here and wait till you become feminine by me just sitting here taking it. That's what it's given. Like, just sit there and just, just call me all kind of bees and hoes and what my husband called a band. A BA ninja, what they ban, call him a ban, and he's just supposed to sit there. She's just in her masculine frame. Me as a man, because I'm a real man, I'm just supposed to just let it wear off. She gonna get tired. She could come and slap the shit out of me and call me all kind of names, but it's all love. Oh, well, I'm just going to sit here and take it until she gets tired. And I'm going to ask her, honey, what you want to eat? What you want me to go buy you? You want something so I can make you feel good about cussing me out and telling me I ain't shit? There's These people are goddamn delusional. Delusional. That's what I think. I mean, this just doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Successful MD, once again. Nightcall 411, thank you for the support, says, so energy is either low or he's soft or output high and she aborts energy and becomes the man, child. That's crazy. Nightcall, we can't make this up. We can't make it up. But I mean, I know the nature of, I've seen the nature of women far too well. And I know it far too well, I've seen it far too much. And this is how I could call it out, because I've seen it. And I know lies, and I've seen the shit play out in real life. So this is why I call cap on it, and you can't pull the wool over my eyes with the shit, because I've seen it. And I thought it was ridiculous then, and I think it's ridiculous now. And I think, once again, it's just coddling that type of behavior. Make every excuse in the book for the behavior of a woman, but the man has to turn around and be goddamn Jesus. He can't make no mistakes. He can't have an opinion. He can't push back on what you're saying. He's supposed to sit there and take it like a goddamn crazy person and just say, oh, that's just the way she is. And they're going to speak to this. Azar is going to basically speak to exactly what I'm saying, to show you the hypocrisy and the foolishness and the delusional state of why women are going to be single and why men are tired of taking the BS. Thank you, Nightcall. I appreciate you. Successful MD also says, all Bonnet Brigade Keishas get lifetime passes. LOL. Yeah, I don't think they should. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, it just don't make no sense, y'all. And it's foolishness. And men are tired of this shit. I feel like it's about time. Men are saying, you know what? I'm not dealing with these types of women. I don't want to do that. You don't have to deal with a woman cussing you out and acting a fool. I don't. And there's no self-control, no kind of way to reel yourself in and realize the nature of what you're doing and realize that you are the toxic one and you need to fix that. That shouldn't be an excuse for toxic behavior. If you don't want to accept it from men, you shouldn't be accepting it from women. Bottom line, who gonna just sit here and keep taking this type of abuse in the name of a woman? Oh, you're a woman, so you have a vagina, and I want that. And I think that's why men dealt with that back in the past, because they wanted vagina. You don't want to. You have vagina at the house. You don't want to have to chase it. When you want something, at least you might get that. And they worried about or feared not being able to have access to that woman when they wanted to. So they just took the shit and just ran with it. Oh, well, okay. She making me feel shitty about myself, but you know what? I'm a man. A man means take bullshit. Being a man means you're just supposed to deal with all kind of toxic behavior. She could bust you upside your head with an iron and your head is bleeding. And you say, oh, well, I'm a man. I'm supposed to take it. Okay, let me go and patch myself up and let me just wait for the next abuse. Oh, no, but it's not considered abuse when it's coming from a woman. Oh, it's just her being a woman. She just bat the piss out me and oh, that's just her. That's the nature of women. I'm a man. I'm supposed to take it. I got to swallow my pride. I got to go somewhere and cool off with the fellas and talk about, man, she just bat the piss out me. She keep hitting me, bruh. Man, I don't like this shit, but I guess as a man, that's what I'm supposed to take. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. These wild women hate structure and peace, no lies. Right, because they're not used to that. A lot of these women aren't used to that. They're used to toxic behavior. They watch their mothers slap the piss out of their stepdaddies because the real daddies were never there. I'm just saying. Because they was out in the streets. Not because he left and never came back. No, he was never there because you didn't even know who the daddy was, to be honest. A lot of these women don't know who the father of their children are. They were out here sleeping and drinking and having a good time, getting all these D's, and you didn't know who the child father was, so you didn't seek out nobody. If they want to be honest about it, in some cases, I'm not saying this is everybody, but in some of these cases when they claiming, oh, why the men, nah, because you was out here wilding out. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Monday, out here in the clubs and the streets, throwing that cooch all over, and you don't know who the father is. You didn't care. You didn't seek out no father. You didn't know. They didn't know. You didn't know. So you just raised the child like you were taught. Oh, you don't need no man to raise your child. You can raise it and then get up and lie. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
I'm not looking at her. She's not looking at me. We're following y'all. So yeah,
we can't have. I'm just saying we can't like this sign. I'm sure a man made it. Like whoever built this place, I'm sure a man. A man made these chairs. Yeah. A man made the tequila. Like
but y'all gotta respect that too and listen. Y'all gotta respect because when y'all start doing the disrespect toward the man and you saying we this or that, then the disrespect come in. How you want us to feel?
Okay, Paul. Can you admit? Can you admit that maybe you're not that guy, right? You're an all around good guy. You got it all together. Okay. But can you look around? Like, I agreed with you that a lot of women are narcissists and they do traumatize men. I agree with you. Right. Can you agree that majority of men nowadays are absent fathers? They're not leaders in society. They're not.
That is not the majority of men. And it's not the majority of black men. And I think that's what they let that slide. No, the majority of black men are not deadbeats. That's been debunked, and that is just not the truth. But that's the narrative they're trying to continuously push. No, that is not the majority of black men. The majority of black men are in their children's lives and raising their kids, and they're not deadbeats. That's not the majority. So they got to stop with that. Night Call 411, thank you for the super chat once again, says, so are modern women the men of old 1910 to 1980s? Well, if they're talking about they following men, it seems like they're following in the worst of the men. They're not following the productive men out here who are doing the right things, because then they will be married and understanding the nature of a man and working in their relationships and building with their men and raising their children. No, they are successful. I mean, Night Call, they're following the worst of the men. The same way when you see these damn studs, emulating a man, who do they emulate? Do you see a lot of these studs walking around with suits on and trying to emulate the businessman or the business model of man, the man who's productive in society? No, they got do-rags and they got their pants hanging out with their drawers showing like the worst of the man in the community. Acting like the gangster dudes. They're not dressing and looking like a productive man in society. They're looking like the bottom of the worst of the man in society. So if these women are following, you're following the worst of the men that are out there and claiming that's all men, and when it's not. So yeah, if you are following, yeah, I would agree, Night Call, maybe so. Because you all they talk about is the men who left their wives and had a whole nother family at his funeral and all this kind of stuff. But what about all the other men? Because that can't be a representation of all men when we clearly have seen productive households, productive families who are thriving and are still thriving in today's society. They are following the worst of the worst and blaming it on everybody. So maybe, Night Call, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Night Call also says, seems like she's saying all men are generalized. All women are the exception. Right. Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they put out there. They get all hype and excited when they think they have something on men, but they never look at themselves. But men are looking at them. And this is why men are moving the way they're moving. Night Call, thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yes, hit the like button, y'all. We got about 70 people in here and 46 likes. He is right. Thank you, Lorenzo. Hit the like button, y'all. Thank you, Night Call. JSU Tiger 07 says, which is how Maury got popular and rich. Exactly. They don't even consider that. All of these shows that benefited off of the foolishness in the communities. Now there were white and black people on them shows, but it showcased the low level, what they call low IQ individuals in the communities, but they never focus on the productive ones in the community. And they use that example of the bottom of the barrel people to justify the entire group, especially when it comes to us. Thank you, JSU Tiger. I appreciate you. So yeah, it's just a mess. Let's continue.
Protecting women in any way, shape, or form. And what happens over time is that we have to become the men within ourselves. We have to become our father's daughters. Mm-hmm. So that's what happens over time, that we're just like, fuck it. He's not going to do it for me. He's not going to build this out for me. I got to build it out myself. And then you walk around grabbing your dick like, as a bitch, I got to grab my dick and get it fucking done. I don't want to do that.
Right.
So a lot of men are not stepping up and doing what they have to do, which in turn makes us have masculine energy and have attitudes and be independent. But we really don't want that. But over time, it's like, well, shit, somebody got to do it.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want to do it, but look at the type of guys that you're looking to do it. Look at the type of guys that they're picking. If you're constantly complaining about men don't want to do stuff and they don't want to lead, look at the type of guys that you're choosing. And look at the type of person that you are. And you can't just say this men just don't want to do it. And you keep picking the same types of guys and women and also, the feminist movement called for women to be as equal as a man if not better, to do what men do. A lot of these women, you wanted to be able to do it yourself. That's the part they keep missing. A lot of these women fought to be able to do it themselves. Then y'all get the opportunity to be able to do it yourselves, but now you want a man to do it for you. Which is crazy because if you think back to, if you go back, the feminist movement was not for black women. It was not for black women. These were white women who were fighting for opportunities outside of the home. They wanted to be able to work jobs and do other things besides cooking and cleaning and folding laundry and taking care of the kids. They wanted to have the opportunity, which means you want the choice. You want the choice to be able to be in the household if you wanted to, or the choice to opt outside of the household. They wanted the choice. They didn't just want to be automatically told that as women, you can't work outside the household. You have to be in the house, and the men are working, and you take care of the home. They wanted the choice to be able to choose which one they wanted, and you got it. So when it comes to black women, the majority of black women and men had to work together. There wasn't a huge number of black women who were, at home, stay-at-home wives. The majority of them, they both had to work. They had to work to maintain their households. They needed two incomes. So majority of black women have always worked. There wasn't a high number of them just sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs, saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to be in the house. I want to be outside working." No, they had to work. They had to work, and they had to take care of the household. So I don't know where they're getting this from, but if black women, kind of jumped on this feminist movement when it wasn't even for them. You aligned yourself with this feminist movement that wasn't for you. This was white women who wanted this, and then they jumped on it, and then they decided, oh, we don't need the men at all. Let's just do it, and we're gonna go to work. We're gonna fight for our autonomy. We're gonna fight for our independence. We're gonna do what we want to do. We're gonna lead the households. We don't need men at all. But they're still having babies. You don't think the children need fathers. You don't need the man. The children don't need the man. You just don't need them. And then as a result, we look at the outcomes that we're seeing now. It's not looking good for our communities, if we even still have a community. So I just think they took it, they ran with it, and they made it into something that it shouldn't have been. And now these are the results of that. Now y'all are all working. Y'all say y'all could get to the bag. Y'all can make the money. Cool. You can make money. You can take care of yourself. You don't need a man. Okay, what's the problem then? How are you going to fight for something, get it, and then turn around and blame the men because you got it? And now men are saying, okay, cool, you got it. You don't need me. Then I'm not trying to get you. I'm not trying to give you all my money. So now you're complaining that you got what you wanted. Now the men are saying, okay, you got it. I don't need to do that anymore. You don't need a traditional man because y'all are independent women. Y'all fought for it. You said you don't need him. You're making the money. You don't need a man, but you're still out here looking for one. And then you want him to come in and do the most. It's insane. Diabolical. Now you complaining, oh, men don't want to lead and take the shit. Why would y'all care? When y'all fought to be these independent boss chicks, Binding Crew Society members, doing it yourself, why are you complaining about men not wanting to pay all your bills and your rent? Y'all fought against that. And, y'all gonna have to deal with it because men are not trying to do that. And now y'all are superficial and delusional with what you want from a man now. And you think that that's gonna fly? Hell no. Ain't nobody got time for that. Veteran 0831, thank you for the super chat. Says Paul cannot say something and then turn around and agree when they say something against men in return. It's three men on this show. Child. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times they don't be asked, coming back with the right questions for me, because it doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. Thank you, Veteran 0831. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Night Call says active and draft. And let's see how long equality lasts. Right. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Trust me. They want the equality that benefits them, not the one that puts them in jeopardy. You want to be like a man until it's time to really fully be like a man. And then they're going to be running. For real. For sure. Thank you, Night Call 411. Very good point. Thank you for the super chat. Child, they full of shit. Let's continue.
Yeah,
So that's
100%.
real. That's
Or
real.
if
That's
you
real.
feel like your man is stepping out or
That's
you
real.
can't fully trust them, how can I trust you to lead me then?
Yes.
Like, how
Fact.
can I trust you if you doing this on the side or you not? Like, a man controls the energy of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I have an attitude, all a man really has to do is be like, baby, shut up, come here.
Yeah.
Hug me. Kiss
Babe,
me.
I love you. You hungry?
Yeah, what's up, baby? And I promise,
Yeah, I'm
you'll
hungry,
be like,
daddy. Let's go,
okay,
let's go.
all right, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Try it.
But
Try
these
it.
men
Try
be
it
so
one time.
sassy. They
These
be
men
so sassy.
and they don't want to do it. They want to keep their attitude. They
Yeah.
want to still be mad. And it's like, just hug a bitch and be like, come on, baby, shut up. Lay down. Damn near have sex with me.
Yeah.
Put it in. Like, and then I will never have an attitude. I'll
a
be
fact.
like, all right, cool, and it's over. But men want to, like, win.
They want to win.
When you're always winning already. You already won.
You won,
You
yeah.
run this. You already run. So since you run this, shut me the fuck up.
And this is not like a
that's
bashing.
it.
This is not like us
bashing.
bashing men. We just want y'all to do better. We want y'all to do better. We don't want to be
Having an
masculine.
attitude.
Yeah, we don't
This
want
is
that.
very informative.
Yeah.
That ain't informative. That's not informative. That's BS. And I've heard it before. No, what they're saying is they want you to take control and control them. They want the man to be responsible for themselves and responsible for them. They want, you said, that's what y'all saying. Y'all don't like control. You don't want a man to tell you what to wear. He can't tell you what to do, but then you want him to tell you what to do. You want him to, but then, then you will complain about that. You have to want to be better. You have to want these changes in order for it to occur. A man can't force that. And after a while, if that is the case, what grown person wants to have to continuously tell another grown person what to do? What adult is gonna be, be comfortable with constantly telling another adult how to act, how to behave, what to do? Like, come on now, that don't make no damn sense. It's like you're saying you as a grown person at a big age, you can't control your emotions and your actions. And you need a man to check you and put you in check and put you in the right frame all the time. Who wants to? I don't. That's like a child. But then when they're called children, they get pissed off. That's your goddamn child. Nobody wants to have to control and tell a grown person how to act. So every time you act, and that's what I'm saying. This is the example of I'm just a woman. I could cuss you out and disrespect you and all that. But just come on, baby. You want something to eat? Come on, just give me a hug, give me a kiss, and everything gonna be all right. That's insane. Successful MD says active and draft. They activate the draft, and they will become pregnant. Right? They don't want to do that, and they know it. They know it. I know I wouldn't want to do it. Shit. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. I mean, this is crazy. And then once again, and no shade to Amber Rose, but right, somebody mentioned Lorenzo. When does Amber ever be with her kids? Oh, child. But this is the people that they will listen to and be like, oh my God, she ate that up, and oh my God, no, she did. She don't have the outcomes that she's talking about. But it's always the man's fault. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Nightcall says, what's the difference between what she's saying men should be and toxic masculinity? What's the difference between what she's saying men should be and toxic masculinity? This is the contradiction, Nightcall. If you listen and just pay attention to what women are saying, they're contradicting themselves all the way around. And they always do. And this is not a new thing. This is what a lot of women do. This is why I say the behavior of women has to change. It's the women who have to do the most changing because they've never been called out on their BS and they've never been checked. They've been coddled. And so they just get to say anything, go in circles, contradict themselves on every front. And nobody really calls it out. They just let them get away with it. This is exactly what they would call toxic masculinity. So it's like you're talking on the how y'all say it? You talking out the side of your neck, or you're like saying the same thing, trying to make it sound profound, like you're saying something and just to make men the problem. But toxic masculinity is women basically talking about men who are men and men who do the leading and men who control their environment, and they want a certain environment and they expect you to follow it. They set the standard, they set the tone, they set how they want their life to be, and you gonna be a part of it. That's what they consider toxic masculinity, and this is what she's basically explaining. There is no difference. She's basically saying that same thing. Men, y'all are the leaders. You set the tone. Make me do this. Make me do that. Girl, this is the very thing they're fighting against. This is the very thing they say they don't want. You don't want no controlling man. Oh, why did your last relationship end? Oh, he tried to control me. He wanted to tell me what to wear. He wanted to know where I was, who I was going to be with, how long I was going to be. He told me I couldn't wear these little mini skirts and this and that, and I got tired of that. That's why I walked away. They don't want a man to lead. It's good saying it. You say it out your mouth, but when in actuality, you don't want that. When it's played out or displayed out in real time, you don't want that. If I'm not mistaken, I thought Amber Rose said she couldn't deal with Kanye because he was controlling, right? Or toxic or something like that. Because he set the tone for how he want his situation to be and how he want his women to be. He's in control of that. But I think if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm wrong, my apologies. But if I'm not mistaken, I think she said he was too controlling. And that wasn't going to work. But now y'all say, oh, men take the lead. Make us do this. No, they can't make you, because the minute they start trying to, then y'all going to claim, oh, he's toxic and he's abusive and you need to call the police. Make it make sense. You cannot. Thank you, Nightcall 411. I appreciate you once again, bro. Successful MD says, it's all excuses to run from accountability. Straight up. It's clear as day. Clear as day. Whatever, they flip-flop depending on the conversation to make themselves look, non-accountable, to make a point that you're not making. You're contradicting yourself on every front. 1 minute you don't want to control the person, then the next minute you're saying, tell me what to do. Then that's not controlling. You're running away from that, but then you say that's what men need to be. You get a man that does that, oh, he's a problem. Oh, he's too control. You get a man who's passive. Oh my God, he's too passive. He's sassy. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all want. Y'all just making it up as you go. So you might as well just continue to be that's why a lot of them are going to be by themselves, because men see this foolishness and men don't want to deal with women like this because it's too much. It's toxic. And it's not work, because in any relationship you have to put in work, but it's not the type of work that anybody should be doing. You shouldn't have to control a grown person. You shouldn't have to tell a grown person how to act. You shouldn't have to tell a grown person basic respect for the person that they say they care about. That stuff you have to learn and grow to learn how to do. A grown man shouldn't have to teach you that, how to be a woman and a respectable woman. You have to learn that. If you haven't learned it already, you need to. That ain't on a man to make you be like that. Come on, that don't make no sense, y'all. Thank you, Successful MD. Let's continue.
I appreciate this.
Yeah, we don't want an attitude. We don't want to be this way.
No,
sometimes we
PMS.
This
is good.
Yeah, sometimes we PMS. Sometimes we do have an attitude. But it takes a man just to be like, babe, shut up. Come here.
He don't give a fuck what we talking
No,
about.
on the real, I promise you. I feel like I learned a lot today. No, straight up. I feel like what y'all, this last 5 minutes is real. It's real shit. Like what y'all saying right now is real. It's
And
making me
you know
think.
what? And I agree with you that more women have to say that to men.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or more of us, we need to say, you know
When you
what?
expressing it like this,
Yeah.
it make okay,
Yes,
I get it now.
you are the defined masculine, and we need
Yep,
you. We
yep.
need you for so much more than you think we need you
Exactly.
for.
Right.
We need you to check
I get
us
it.
too.
Yeah.
We have attitudes. We're hormonal. We'll say shit. We need you to
Good
be
look.
like,
Write all this
we
down.
need you
I'll
to
write
check
this
us
down.
in a way to just be like,
Write this
babe,
down.
I love you. We together. Shut up. We good.
Yeah.
Come here. Give me a kiss. Grab me up. And I promise you, you'll be done.
You'll be good.
like,
Right,
whatever.
right.
All right.
You'll be
I
good.
love you,
That's
baby.
real. That's real. That's real.
It's actually
That's
so
real.
easy.
That's
It's
real.
so easy because y'all
That's
control
real.
the energy.
I get it.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
real.
of these men, they just want to win an argument.
They
It's
want to win
sassy.
an argument.
Yeah,
They
we
wanna
want to
be
win the
sassy.
argument. We the man.
Not but how you win is shutting
Yeah.
me the fuck up, giving me some dick, telling me you love me, and taking me to get something to eat, nigga.
Yeah.
We good.
That's
Right.
it.
That's
All right,
it.
there we go.
Yeah, you
Like
win.
that's it. You still win. Because
There we
even
go.
when a bitch is saying,
That's lit.
yeah,
That's lit. No, that's real, right? That was real. Hey, we fuck with that. Hey, no, we
It's
fuck
true.
with that.
She's
No, we
absolutely right. We
You a guy. Listen. Well, why y'all don't have no man? If it's that easy, why y'all don't have a man? Why you don't have a man then? You all these years you haven't found a man who was a good man, and you just sit there and and why? Because none of them wanted to deal with your foolishness. If it's that easy, why y'all don't have a man that would be willing to deal with that? Why? So you want, once again, this is a foolish concept that you're just saying, oh, as a man, we just supposed to sit down here and just take whatever you dish out. That's what that's saying. That's some bullshit. Why y'all got a man? Well, what man? Clearly, ain't too many men willing to settle for that. Cause y'all would have one at this point. Y'all would be married, long been married, And you can sit back and then say, oh, well, my man, he knows. Because listen, I get what they're saying. That's to be honest with y'all. And I'm not even, I try to be as real as I could be with y'all. Listen, I do get what they're saying. You know, because listen, there's sometimes when I've gotten mad or acted a certain way and you know, my husband don't respond to that, but I'm not going to cuss him out and disrespect him. But I'm saying like, yeah, we're human beings. So we going to get mad at some point. It's part of life where I felt like, I was reeled in or whatever, or I get what they're saying. But if you're out here trying to date and you're just making excuses for your behavior, you don't make excuses for your behavior. You need to recognize the foolery of yourself and change it. Don't just sit here and just think that this is okay and this is what how the relationship should be, and you don't have to work on yourself. No, that's why I said we all are works in progress. We all have things we have to work on. We're not perfect, but none of us. We all got shit to work on, trust me. And when you get in a relationship, you realize that real quick. You realize some stuff about yourself and you realize some stuff about the other person. But that's why you're supposed to work on it. You don't just sit down and claim the toxicity and say, I'm just a masculine toxic woman and you better just deal with it and just give me some food and give me and when women don't act like that. They say that, but they don't act like that. Oh, just give me some loving and give me some food and I'm good. That's a lie. And a lot of these women are the ones who want to win the argument. You want to feel right all the time. So in many cases, it's the woman who want to be right. The men will back away. First off, the men a lot of times won't even entertain. Some of these men don't even entertain the foolishness. They walk straight away. You start talking shit, they get on. They get off. They get the going. They don't stand there. Some men don't stand there and listen to you yap. They just walk the fuck off. I'm just saying. And then that makes women even more mad. When they realize you talking some dumb stuff, a lot of these men just ignore you, child. And that pissed women off more than anything. That's why women like to go behind the man. And some of them even to the point of hitting the man or going behind him with the foolishness. And then when they get their head knocked in between the wash and dry, which I don't condone, then they want to cry wolf and act like the victim. Because they go behind the man with the foolishness because he don't want to stand there and listen to it because he's heard it all before. So, I mean, look, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's too much to be dealing with, especially the older you get, you want your peace. The older you get, you realize, hell, shit, and I know it's the truth because, sometimes my husband will tune me out. Hell, I don't like it, but I get it. We've been together too long. If he just walk off, he'll walk off. I ain't gonna even lie. How do y'all can say I ain't gonna even hold you? He'll be like, if he recognize, just walk off. Like, why are you walking off? Why are you walking? What I'm saying? Well, I heard what you said already. It's like, come on now. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. And then you got to reflect and you got to realize, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing too much. Okay. So let me reframe. Let me get it together. That's what accountability looks like. Looking at yourself and saying, you know what? Hell, I probably would have walked off too. Like, it's not always the men. I'm not saying men are perfect. By no means. A lot of men got issues too. But what I'm saying is the women don't acknowledge that they have issues. And they always want the man to do the fixing when he can't fix you. He can fix himself. He can get himself together and learn and hold himself accountable. He can't hold you. He can't make you fix you. That's all I'm saying. He can't be responsible for himself and his actions and yours too. Like, you a child, like you don't have control. You don't have self-control, that you don't have a brain that you can't realize, hold up, I need to change some things. I need to work on myself too. Now, it's not all just for him to do. They want him to control himself, monitor himself, and monitor them and control them and change them too. Like, y'all goddamn nuts. The only person who is responsible for their actions are you. You're responsible for yourself, the way you show up, the way you act. That ain't no man's responsibility. But this is where the level of no accountability has come to. Everything is for the man to fix. Yeah, the man is the leader, but he can't make you follow. And he can't make you be who you should normally be. That's all I'm saying. You don't want the control, but then you do. Make it, that's confusing. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat, says, I have a better time building new pews and counting sand on the beach, baby. I refuse to have to put a bit on a hyena for fake behavior. That's bad recycling. I know that's right. I know that's right. Hell, it's just nonsense, y'all. It's not, it just mind-boggling to me when I see it. But I am familiar with it. That's the thing. I come from the hood. I've seen a lot of this behavior. I know how women think. I know how the sisterhood think. I've seen it firsthand. So this is why when I hear this, it's like it's on social media now. It's all on autopilot. And they just really think, this is why they don't want women to talk about this. And they can't really come for you as a woman who know the game. So that's why, they'll just tell that to men. Oh, y'all need to be this. And I'm like, yeah, y'all full of shit. Y'all, y'all are confusing. You go back and forth. You don't know what the hell you want. And you're out here looking for a fairy tale. You think these men are just stupid. No. And once again, they say, oh, once you have your own children, once you have your sons, now you understand. No, it didn't take me to have children to understand, but even when they get children, they still think some other rule, so like rules don't apply to them. Like, oh my God, they're the exception. No, you're not. Y'all are full of shit, and you don't want nobody to tell you. And but the outcomes show it. The outcomes show it. Men don't want to. The old super simps of yesteryear are done. These men aren't trying to do that, and they're mad about it. These men don't want these women with children with these bad attitudes, with all of these superficial expectations, all this dumb stuff that they're asking for. Any man in his right mind is not going to fall for that. That's how I feel. Any man with some standards and some sense realize that this is not a good deal. And because a lot of these men are showing up with some sense and standards, these women are being left out. Bottom line. Thank you, Successful Indeed. I appreciate you. Night Call once again says, DeeDee, I respect your channel and insight. Is this what women want their men to do or be? Could you explain how a relationship grows from this, and how can a man tell when to say shut up versus listen to her? See, first off, I don't think you should tell. It's the way you respond to your mate. I don't think you should blatantly tell your wife or your husband to just shut up. I think that's disrespectful. I think there's a way to go about getting a person to listen. When they're talking too much, there's a way to do it. My husband does it all the time. Can you hold up? He's like, hold up. Can I get a word in? Like, it's a way to, and I will say, listen, when you've been raised in the, like a lot of these women been raised in a single mother household with the Bonnie Crew Society member on autopilot, who's where you've only seen her disrespect the men that in her lives and talk to them crazy, you learn how to do that. So it's going to take some time for you to unlearn that behavior and learn something new. And this is what we don't see in this modern society. People taking time to work on themselves in a way that is conducive to a healthier relationship, to unlearn the behavior that you saw growing up or that you've seen, to learn how to communicate more effectively. And everybody's talking about money and all this other BS, but they're not talking about the core values that really help to shape and build stable relationships. And communication is one of them. So instead of worrying about the wrong things, they should be worried about how to learn how to communicate effectively, how you should be talking to a person versus, words and ways you shouldn't talk to a person that will trigger that person. We all have some type of trauma or we've all had some type of experiences in our lives, whether they're, minimal or vast, right? So nobody wants to be talked to in a demeaning way. So you have to first know how you want somebody to talk to you. If you want somebody to respect you and treat you a certain way, you got to reciprocate that. You got to unlearn that horrible behavior that you saw growing up. You got to rip that out of your mind of how you saw your mother treat these men and how she was running shit in the house, because that's what they say. You also got to get rid of that mentality, because a lot of women think that is a flex, that my mom was running shit. She did what she got, what she wanted. So you think you can do the same. You got to let that go. So you got to learn how to communicate effectively. Let's see what you're saying. How to explain a relationship grows from this and how a man can tell. And I don't think, once again, you have to listen, understand you talking. You don't have to always try to be right. And it's interesting when you hear women who say, oh, men want to be right. No, a lot of women want to be right too. Women already come from this standpoint of, oh, as women, we supposed to just shut up and don't, so they fought against that. They fight against having a voice. A lot of women feel like they didn't have a voice because it was all about the men. So now they overly talk too much. So you, first off, you got to learn how to talk less and listen. And a lot of women don't want to do that because that contradicts what they feel a woman should be doing. They think a woman should be mouthy. They think a woman should have a voice and be loud. You can have a voice, but who says it has to be loud and aggressive and demeaning? There's a difference there. So when you hear, I know y'all hear when men say, look, a woman could say what she expects from you and what she wants from you, but the way she does it, if she's coming to you in a peaceful manner, if she's coming to you with love to say, hey, you know, I don't like such and such that you did this or whatever, and you know, it's a way to do it. You don't have to come all aggressive and mad and angry. You can approach your mate in a loving manner and still get your points across that will make him want to listen to you and do what you're saying needs to be done, versus you coming off like you're attacking him, and vice versa. Both sides need to learn that. I don't think you should just go to your person and say, just shut up and listen to me. No, because even though women are saying that, oh, just tell me to shut the fuck up and do this. No, because that is triggering for them. They say it in hindsight, which people always say hindsight is 20/20, because after the fact, you could say that. But when if it's being relayed or done that way, they don't respond in kind. So scratch that. You don't just go say, shut the fuck up and listen to me, because she gonna be like, you shut the F up. They're not gonna accept that. You gotta approach a person with love and let them know, you know, what your grievances are and it can't be this aggressive, mean mentality all the time, because people don't respond in kind like that. It just don't. Nobody responds in a good way to somebody coming at them like that. And so you just get the same energy back and forth till y'all can't take it no more and y'all break up. So communication is key. I don't care what nobody say, and how you approach the person, you have to work on that. You can't just go to somebody and talk to them crazy and don't expect to get talked to crazy back. So it's how you approach the person. And don't approach a person when it's heated. Let it cool down, and then you come back and you can have a reasonable conversation with the person once cooler heads. You know how they say cooler heads prevail? So just wait, calm down, and then go back and have the conversation so y'all can hash it out in a much better way. You know, because as long as people are heated and they're going back and forth, you're never going to resolve anything. So sometimes, this is why I say for women, sometimes you got to be the bigger person to just calm it down. You got to be what you're expecting him to be. If you want him to be calm and listen to you, you need to be calm and listen to him. Because if you're calm and you're listening to him and you're hearing him out, he feels heard, he feels seen. It's not just for the woman to be heard and seen. Y'all have to hear and see each other. So when you can get that, now you can say a person will have a better understanding of your perspective and you have a better understanding of theirs. And then y'all could hash it out and understand where she's coming from, and you understand where he's coming from. But if you're approaching it in a demeaning, nasty way, nobody's going to get anywhere. Y'all going to do that until y'all just decide to walk away from the relationship. So when I say communication is key, it entails all of what I just said. You have to learn how to listen and stop trying to argue to win the conversation, because nobody's winning. At the end of the day, y'all keep doing that, the relationship is over. So nobody wins. And I think there are men who feel like that for sure. And there are definitely women who want to be heard and want to be seen. They want to get their points across, but they're coming in a negative way. And you expect this man to just sit back and hold his tongue and just listen to everything that you're saying, even though you're demeaning him, and he's supposed to just listen and then come, and he's supposed to respond in a loving, kind manner and say, oh, okay, I understand you, hun. Oh my God, I know you're frustrated. You're frustrated, and I'm going to do better. So what that is, women want what they are not able to give. You can't approach somebody, demean them, loud and aggressive, in their face, cuss them out, and then you think they're going to feel good about, reciprocating love for you. No, that's a human being. It's not a goddamn robot that you control and that you program. You got to understand, even though the man might be quiet, he's taking in everything that you've said. And if you've cussing him out and talking to him in a demeaning way, that man feels that, just like you would. So you got to understand, and vice versa. If he's doing that to you, you got to understand that she feels that. So communication is key. You got to understand how to navigate that. Even if you think the person was wrong, you got to let them tell their grievances, and not saying that you don't say anything, but it's how you do it. It's how you communicate your feelings. Because meeting that energy back and forth is not the resolve. And then you'll have women who say, well, damn, I always got to bite my tongue. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't bite your tongue. I don't think you should bite your tongue as a woman. No, because all that does for women is it builds up animosity, and it builds up, something in them to the point to where they like, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this, and they end up leaving. No, I don't think women should bite their tongue. I think women should be vocal about their issues and what's going on with them, but it's the way you do it. It's the way you do it. And you don't have to be angry. You got to learn how to control your anger and learn how to speak to a person effectively. The same way if you had grievances on your job with your boss, you don't go to them cussing them out saying, you motherfucker, I want this. Y'all treat me bad. That's not going to get you what you want. It's going to get you the opposite, right? You're going to get fired, right? If you approach your boss in this aggressive, demeaning mindset, you are going to get fired. They're not going to deal with that. So think about that. When you want to approach your spouse or the person you're dating or whatever, you got to calm down and communicate in an effective manner. And when you do that, you'll realize that person will respond in kind. They should. And if they don't, then they got to work on themselves. This is why I said we all got to work on ourselves. So it's not about not having a say so, it's about the way you do it. And so work on your listening skills and work on the way you communicate with that person. Just because you're mad don't mean you always have to pop off, and cuss and do all that. That don't work. That just, you're creating more problems than solving them. You know what I mean? I hope I answered that night call. Yeah, so it's the way you approach a person. You need, and you should. And I don't think that if you have a problem, you shouldn't say anything, because I don't think that that's helpful either, because you're just festering issues and building them up till you finally blow. And then that's not helpful either. You got to be able to communicate to a person what you're feeling, what you're thinking in your own way, but not an aggressive, demeaning way. You never, how they say, you get more, how they say that? There's a saying that people be saying of how you get what you want in the way that you present your issues. And I think that's an issue a lot of people have. A lot of people don't know how to talk to each other. And that's what the problem is. So it just all blows up. Some people get into fights. Some people, it comes to blows for real. And then that's the end of it. Like, you got to learn that. A lot of people have an issue with that, and they don't know how to fix it. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate you. Successful MD says, fix a flat. Men can't repair a blowout. Women. Thank you, Successful MD. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. And listen, if you, thank you, Successful MD. If you with a woman and she just don't know how to control her anger, then that's not the woman for you. Because like I said, you can't be passive as a man and just sit there and just take that. No, because you're going to be miserable. And the more you sit there and take it, the more she's going to continue to do it. She's never going to learn how to, because there's no reason to. If you just sit there and let her do whatever, she's going to keep doing it. So that's why I think this is cap and bullshit when women talk about, oh, you got to make us. No, because the minute you start doing that, either she going to realize it and she going to change her ways because she really want to be there, or either it's just going to make her worse. Because when these women come across men who are absolutely just like that from the beginning, they call them controlling. They don't want to deal with a man like that because he's not going to take their bullshit. And if she's there the difference is if a woman is there for the right reasons and you call her out on her stuff, she's going to realize, okay, you know what, I'm wrong. I got to stop that. And she's going to move accordingly. That's how you know if she really want to be there. A woman who's confused about what she wants and don't really want to be there, and she just there to take advantage of you, the minute you call out, she going to have a problem. She going to want to spaz out, and then she going to want to leave. Let her go. Let's continue.
I want y'all to win. We don't want to win. We don't care about winning. We just want to feel safe and happy and get some dick.
We just care about being with you.
And go get some
winning means you just being like, baby, come here. Don't go nowhere. I love you. Sit your ass down.
That's it.
We say all the bullshit. bullshit just to hear you reassure us.
A lot of these men, they want to block
they
you.
want
They want to
you-
get sassy. I don't
Yeah.
have
To
time for
say,
that.
baby, come here after they just called you a bitch ass nigga. They
Well,
want you
I'm
to say,
not
"Come here."
calling nobody a
But
bitch.
Come here.
You gotta really be a bitch ass nigga for me to call you a bitch ass nigga.
I'm not calling.
Not that, but just in so many words like argue and.
But women are gonna argue. Men don't want to people like women are like that.
Women
Yeah,
are
yeah, for sure.
sassy.
We're
Y'all
not
gotta match
sassy.
energy.
We're horny.
I appreciate this last
Don't be
2
sassy
minutes.
too.
I promise
Yeah.
you. I promise you. No, this is real. This,
Don't match our energy.
No, for real. No, for real. This has been a
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
This was real.
You see what I'm saying? This is bullshit. She said women are sassy. This is just who we are, basically. So don't match our energy. Who y'all think y'all dealing with? Like I said, a fake pinup man? A fake blow-up doll man? What you mean don't match? So once again, she just confirmed everything that I said. As a woman, that's just who we are. We're just aggressive and sassy, and we just, like he said, you just call us a man, a bitch, a ninja, and we just, oh honey, come on, you want that? That is dumb. He low key basically shading them like you gotta be out of your goddamn mind. You gonna sit there and call me out my name, and I'm just supposed to say, oh babe, come on, let's go get something to eat. Like he don't have feelings. Like he a goddamn, like his brain is made of wires. Like he's a goddamn robot control. Like what the hell? See, this is why I say women are cooked, they're lost, and this is why they're gonna suffer by themselves. You can't make this up. You really can't. You really, y'all, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling, y'all. I swear you can't make it up. I'm not just saying this shit. It's real. Shit. Oh, well, this is just the nature of us. We're gonna cuss you out, call you a BA ninja, and we're gonna just cuss you out from head to toe. We're gonna tell you how we really feel, and then we're supposed to say, you want something to eat, babe? Honey, you want to go out and shop? Honey, come on, because I'm the problem always. And you're just a woman with come on, let me give you some loving. This is turning me on. You calling me out my name every chance you get, talking to me like you crazy. You disrespecting me to my face. And, oh, honey, let's just go. Come on, this makes me want to give you the goddamn world. Where in the world do they get this from? This is some bullshit if I've ever seen it, y'all. This don't make no kind of sense. But this is how they think. This is how they want men to. That's why they don't have no men. Because this is what they really believe. You think that's okay? You think that's okay to sit down and just cuss your man out that you say you care about because, oh, you're PMS and that's an excuse for you to disrespect the man that you with and he's supposed to sit there and just take it? Oh, that's just the nature of no, that's not the nature of a woman. That's not how you should react. That's some bullshit. But this is that's why they ain't got nobody, because they haven't found a man who gonna deal with that. You haven't found a man who's gonna sit there and let you disrespect him and then just want to acquiesce to you. That's gonna make him move. That's gonna make him want to love you more. Men, that's what y'all should be doing. Come on. Let her cuss you out from head to toe. Come on, babes, let's go. I want to give her the world. And then wonder why no man don't want to marry y'all and take y'all seriously, because this is how y'all think. This was the dumbest ish I've ever heard. I'm sorry, but I already know this though. I already know this. But this is how they still thinking in 2026. Mr. Original 3109 says, so these women must have been married for years with the info they're giving, right? No, they have not. They have not been married. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say women like to hear this kind of stuff because it benefits them. If you can get to just disrespect the man, talk to him any old kind of way. Thank you, Mr. Original. And then have them just treat you like this princess, they love it. They benefit from it. And then they could just go and talk about you behind your back or how stupid you are for allowing them to do that. Like, this is crazy. No, this is what a lot of these women who talk like this, they're going to be forever single. And a lot of times when they do get in a relationship, it does not work because they are exuding that type of behavior and then wonder why. And then when you exude that behavior and that man does not follow that program, then you leave because you realize that don't work. But you leave not realizing that you're the problem. You continuously blame men for their behavior and their problem when you are the problem, because you think that a man's supposed to sit there and allow you to treat them that way and love you even more. That's some bullshit. The same way women thought that men like mean women. Men don't like mean women. We used to be mean and cuss my daughters, and he just sit there and smile and say, yes, I love her so much. They really think men, and they thought men were stupid back then, and they think they're stupid now. And a lot of men are just not falling for it. And now they confused, trying to convince you to be stupid. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense, y'all. It's just some foolery if I ever heard it. You're supposed to just disrespect this man, and that's supposed to make him love you more and want to sleep with you and want to do all this. Oh yeah, she called me a BA ninja, and oh yeah, she called me all kind of mother effers and just cuss me out, just whatever they using. And you're supposed to ignore that. So, oh, well, that's just what she is. You know, come on, love. Come on, let's do this, do that. And then she give you some coochie and all is well. Men are not falling for that these days. You can't just give me that used cooch and then think all is okay. No, he'll take that, but he ain't forgot. You think he forgot how you treat him? You think he forgot? He didn't forget. All the names you called him, it's in his brain. He's collecting it all. And then these are the men that these women be in relationships for 10 and 15 years and want, oh girl, he ain't never proposed to you. Hell no. He ain't gonna marry you. Why? He see who you really are. And the problem is, I think a lot of these men stick around in these relationships thinking that for whatever reason they stick around, but, you know, there may be some benefit they get from it, but they know who you really are. They know your true nature, and they don't see you as wife. If you can sit down and call them all kind of names and disrespect him on every front, and he just steadily being a nice guy, you think he gonna turn around and marry you? Hell no. He just gonna roll with it, whatever, because there's some benefit, and it could be the coochie. He's like, oh, she got some good coochie, but other than that, she ain't wife material. I ain't never marry her. But you know what? She got some good coochie, so I'll sit here and I'll get the cooch. And I'll deal with her shit for a little bit, but either I'm calculating leaving or I'm gonna wait till she get tired and then it's over. Some men do that. As opposed, because there's something they're getting from it. But they not gonna marry you. They know this ain't no wifey material. I'll stick here because maybe there's some good times, but when it's bad, you know, it's bad. But there's something I'm getting from this. And I think, you know, this is why women be like, well, why would a man be with you and waste your time? No, he didn't waste his time. It's some benefit he got from it, just like you benefited from it. And then he just sit there for some reason, whatever reason, but they don't marry you. And then they'll get out of that relationship with a woman who respects them and treat them right. And they'll marry her because they feel like she's more marriage material. You weren't. Then they be like, I gave you 10, 15 years of my life. Yeah, but you was a bitch while you was doing it. And I sat here and dealt with you because there was something I got from it. But I wasn't marrying you because I knew that this is not the type of woman I would. I'll sit here and deal with you a little bit, but I'm not marrying you. But then they'll go right and get a woman, meet her 6 months, then they engage and marry, and then she pregnant, and then the ex be sitting there looking stupid because ain't nobody else gonna deal with her shit. And now she's single, trying to put the pieces back together and wonder why he wouldn't marry her. That's why. Which I don't understand why a man would sit and deal, because he probably like her. So, you know, these women act like men don't have feelings. So he probably was in a relationship because he actually did like her ass. Even though she had issues, he's like, well, maybe she'll change, but he ain't gonna marry you, boo-boo. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. But they realize it after the fact. Hindsight is always 20/20 with a lot of these women, you know, and they just really be believing that this is what men should do and how men should show up, and it's just not working. Ain't no man. No. Now I want to pull up this video, which I found kind of funny, but sad, y'all. This little clip took me out. Y'all, please hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like. 99 people in the building. We got 79 likes. Come on now. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Baby, look at this next clip. It was funny, but it wasn't funny. But it was interesting, to say the least, y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, y'all. Make sure you guys are supporting the channel via Super Chat or Cash App, y'all. That definitely helps the channel to grow. It definitely helps out a lot. So make sure you're doing that. Listen to this. Here we go.
And he said, I heard a guy go, you ain't no bad bitch. You're an old bitch. And I went back and asked him, I said, what you say? And he said, I said, you're an old bitch. I said, really? That's how you really feel, right? So it really hurt my feelings, and it's not a lot of stuff that hurts my feelings, right? And I asked, I let him know. I said, listen, I'm just doing me. And I just said, how could you say that to me? I'm driving, so I can't really look in the car. I said, how could you say that to me and say I'm not a bad bitch? I'm an old bitch. You know, it's a blessing to get older. And it doesn't matter, like, how old you are. You wear what you feel. And I feel and know I'm a bad bitch. So, though I'm strong, I'm still a person. And it really hurt my feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? And then he apologized and everything, but man, I'm 52. Like, why would somebody call you an old bitch? Like, then he gonna say, don't take that with you. You know, but it's like, how the fuck can I not? I walk past your car and you say you ain't a bad bitch, you an old bitch? Like, what the fuck, man? Y'all young niggas need to be careful how y'all speak to people, how y'all speak to y'all elders. We out here living, we gave birth to y'all. And I swear, you know, he apologized, but I ain't never gonna forget that shit. Y'all need to be careful. You never know who you're talking to.
Lord Jesus. So this lady was really hurt because she said a YN walked up to her because her shirt said bad B. And he said, you ain't no bad B, you an old B. She said she's 50 something. Let me tell you, so she was really offended by that and she was really hurt by that. And, you know, it just speaks to where women are and how a lot of women are easily triggered, how they really are fragile. They really have issues. You know what I mean? And now she's 50 something. I don't think she looks bad at all, but she's wearing a shirt that says I'm a bad B. And he said, you are not a bad B, you're old. But I'm just like, okay, and you're in your 50s, that would, a lot of these YNs would consider you old. You know, I personally wouldn't have been offended by the fact that he said I'm not a bad B. I would just be like, hey, don't call me no B. I'd have been more offended by you not knowing me calling me a B. But if you got it on your shirt, then you shouldn't be offended at all. And so I think, once again, this speaks to how a lot of women view themselves as such. And, you know, and when somebody tells them they're not, that they're in denial. First you got to ask yourself, why would you at 50 something years old be calling yourself a bad B? Now, I don't think that you should, because she doesn't look bad. She really doesn't. But what I'm saying is, why would you be calling yourself that? To me, you're disrespectful to yourself by saying that. That's not a flex. A lot of these young girls, you know, say that and they roll with that. I don't think anybody should be calling themselves a bad B. Why would you want to be considered a B in the first place? So now, you know, and if you're confident, this is why I say a lot of these women are walking around with false confidence, because you need validation to feel a certain way. And when you don't get that validation, you breaking down, you crying. And the least little thing somebody say about you, it's affecting you negatively. So I just don't think that, you know, if you have confidence within yourself and love yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody says, it wouldn't affect you. But it shows you a lot of these women are moving in this false reality. You're walking around thinking you're something that you don't even believe you are. And the minute somebody called it out, you're depressed and now it's going to go with you for forever. No, if you're confident in who you are, you don't even care what nobody else think. You don't care what they say. You keep it moving because you know who you are. But she's hard down crying because somebody called her an old B. Because she feels like she's a bad B for whatever reason. Like, no, I think this speaks to a lot of the mentality of a lot of women and why it's a false narrative and why they're really more insecure than they want you to know. That speaks to your insecurities. Because I would have been like, yeah, I'm old. But hey, young man, don't you apologize. I ain't no B. That's what I would have said. Yeah, I'm old and I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I'm old, but I'm not a B. So can you apologize for that? And apologize. No, I'm old. Okay, and I'm here. You better hope you get old and you don't die young. Because if you don't get old, then you must want to die young. That's what I would have said and kept it moving. I'd have been more offended by him calling me a B than old. If he's a YN, yeah, you are old to him. What's the problem? But once again, this false idea of what a bad B is, and everybody walking around think that they're it, and when somebody call you out, now you crying on social media because you're offended by that, because you've been hyped up and hyped to believe that that is what it is, and it just it's kind of, you should be insulted by walking around with a shirt that says I'm a bad B. It's not a way to boost your ego up, to make you feel like you're better than what you actually are. That's all that is. That's why there's this narrative that all women could be 10s. You can be 500 pounds. You're a 10. You know, we all are 10s, and oh my God, we should be addressed as such, and everybody should respect us as such. Like, hell no. No. Every woman is not a 10. And you got to accept that. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It don't mean that you're less than. So you got to be more honest about where you fit in the dating market. You know what I'm saying? And or you don't have to listen to that at all. You don't have to acknowledge any of that. You just live your life and do you, and don't worry about what people say. But once again, when you hear women talk about men are insecure and men are that, it's a projection, y'all. A lot of these women, if a woman is thinking that you're insecure or you're intimidated by them, no, she's actually insecure and she's intimidated by you. And there's a few things you could tell her to bring that out. Because soon as you start pointing out things about them, you'll see how they get mad and start cussing, and how they just lose their goddamn minds, because they know deep down inside what you're saying is true. Somebody called me old. Thank you. Because I am old to some. And if somebody is 80 years old, I'm young to them. Like, it's like, come on, like what? Look, come on. This is why I say there's a lot of projection going on, and there's a lot of false narratives, and there's a lot, women are fragile deep down. They're not these, you could see the most masculine, aggressive woman on the surface, but that's because there's a lot of insecurities and issues she have deep down inside. That aggression and all that masculinity is a facade. It's a way to protect how they really feel. It's a way to protect their fragile egos, because they don't really feel confident about themselves. They don't really love themselves the way they want you to think. So this is why all of this sisterhood engagement, all of these false narratives, oh, we all are 10s, oh my God, and I'm a bad B and all this, because deep down inside you're not, and you haven't had bad B treatment, and you haven't had, men to tell you were beautiful. A lot of these women who are walking around saying these things, and they need these affirmations, and they need this Bonnie Crew society recognition, is because they have never had positive things said about them, or they have had bad experiences in the past where they felt less than, and now they need these daily affirmations. They need this constant boost to make them believe that they are something, because they haven't felt like there was something ever in life. And this is why you find women who, have been looking for a certain validation their whole lives. They've never had a man to tell them they were beautiful. They never felt beautiful. They never had a father or somebody in their life to make them feel good about themselves. They either had bad experiences, or they just don't look in the mirror and love what they see. And so finally, when you have women coming together saying, we're all 10s, we're all beautiful, they eat that up, because it's like, oh, I don't have to walk around feeling like I'm the ugly duckling. I don't have to walk around feeling like I'm less than. Oh my God, I can be a bad B. I am a bad B. When I put this wig on and I put this makeup on, all the ladies are telling me I'm a bad B. And so now I got to embrace that, because I really am. But deep down inside, you don't believe that. This is how you could tear them down. This is why anything you say is tearing a woman down. Anything that brings forth some type of truth or reality is tearing them down, because they don't know how to accept the truth without feeling less than or feel like somebody tearing them down. It's not that you're tearing them down. If I have an opinion about something, if you resonate with it and you say I'm tearing you down, it's because you are insecure, because you deep down inside you don't feel good about yourself, and that's not nobody else's fault. That's your own. You have to work on yourself. And as much as these women are talking about their whole and they're they've they're figured it out and they got themselves together no, a lot of times they're not together. And that's the whole point. If this woman was really a bad bee, and a bad bee meant that you are secure and you whole in who you are, that wouldn't have tore her down like that. She wouldn't be crying. In fact, she probably would laugh at it. And like I said, I would probably be like, hey, yeah, I'm old and I'm loving it and I'm having a good time. But don't call me no bee, young man. I'm not your. And then you apologize and keep it moving because you're not going to disrespect me. I'm more worried about being disrespected, not you calling me old. So if somebody could tear you down by calling you old, you got more work to do, ma'am. You got more work to do. You're not young, so shit, you're old. And what? You're not the only old person in the world. That's not an insult. Him calling you out your name, calling you a bee is an insult. But she's worried about the old part. Because she listened to these young women telling her, girl, you're a bad bee, this and that. Nah. So, yeah, this is why I say a lot of women got to work, a lot of work to do. Yours Eric TV says, because you're old. Thank you for being a member of Yours Eric TV. I appreciate you. But I mean, right. What's wrong with being old? You know? I mean, but it's you know, it is one of those things. Did I miss Super Chats? Okay, here we go. Thank you, Eric TV. I appreciate you. Successful MD says she must be auditioning for stand-up comedy. Crazy. Thank you, Successful MD. Why does a 50-year-old woman wear a shirt saying, right? Yo, Classy, what's going on, Classy? Classy, I saw you on what I saw you on a panel, a live on what's their name? I forget the name of the channel. And yeah, I saw you rocking the little beard mustache thing. Oh my God. I said, okay, I see you. It looked good. I'm just saying. Yois Eric TV says, I guess you're trying to say I have to tell old people I have told old people all time respect is earned. I'm not going to disrespect you because you're old because you live long. I think I'm trying to get what you're saying. You probably was rushing US Area TV. So I tell people all the time, respect is earned. I'm not going to disrespect you because you live long. I think I'm getting what you're saying, US Area TV. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. You said she too old to be wearing it. LOL. Right. That's crazy. Thank you, US Eric TV. He also says, I'm 37. MFers call me old, but they think I'm young because black don't break unless you smoke that C-Rock. Right. Yeah. Hell, some of these people think 25 is old. And I'm just like, that's diabolical. Y'all are going too far. But it is what it is. Thank you, US Eric TV. I appreciate you. You also says, love short hair is giving knee alone Friday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, US Eric TV. Once again, shout out to you. Mr. Original says, me, 60. A bear and a stud are sitting here laughing at the old, she wore the shirt. A bear and a stud. Oh, shit. Thank you, Mr. Original. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all crazy as hell. Yeah, but it's unfortunate. I mean, a lot of these women are insecure, and this is what it is. This is not all women. I gotta specify that. This does not apply to all women. I'm not talking to all women. But I'm saying this is the nature of some. And so I just, it just shows you. A lot of these women aren't secure as they want you to believe. And that's something you could work on. I'm not going to dismiss women or call them bad people. No, I'm just saying like, damn, you let somebody call you old and say you're not an old bee and you break down crying. No, that means you got to work on yourself, honey. I just don't, what do you think? Well, if he said, oh my God, you a young queen, you would feel good about that, but that's just not the truth. And I think a lot of women are operating from a delusional standpoint, and they want to be considered young and beautiful and a queen to everybody. And that's just not how everybody see you. That's why I say they're delusional and they can't find what they're looking for, because they're looking for a fallacy. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. You want a man to view you as these beauty queens and as these, I don't know what they're looking for, but they're looking for something that doesn't exist. You want men to just praise you and put you on a pedestal. And what's the point of men doing that? No woman should be put on a pedestal and praised. I don't understand. That would like y'all. They're moving like women are queens and they're so great in every aspect, and a man just supposed to acquiesce to them and chase them and mow them down to be with them and all this shit. It's like, that is crazy. Y'all don't see these crazy women out here. Y'all don't see that women are crazy. And women got a lot of things they need to work on. Why would a man be foolish enough to chase and run behind a woman for what? Why? I don't think anybody should be running or chasing anybody. If you are interested in somebody, you approach and you try to get to know them and y'all date. But if that person don't seem like they want to be bothered, leave them alone. I'm not going to chase you. But this is the delusional mindset that a lot of women have. They think just because they're women and they have a vagina that men's supposed to be chasing. Men ain't doing that. And the vagina is not that appeasing or appealing to men anymore, because they see it out there. And if they want to get that, they can go get it. They don't have to chase you for that. And then on top of that, the women have allowed themselves to be ran through so much. Men don't even see these women as anything special, because y'all are talking about y'all got rosters and you get ran through by Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Pookie, Ray, Tom, Dick, Harry, Mo, Lee, and Tom and Greg and Holland and Smith and Child, whoever. There's Hotak. And a lot of these women are on it. And they're praising it. So why would most men walk out here and be like, ooh, yeah, we gotta run behind these hoes and we gotta run behind them because they got vaginas and we want it. No, there's nothing appealing, and everybody's got their asses tooted out to the camera and saying, look at me, I want attention. Why should these men run behind that? Big fake asses and stuff like these men. I'm just saying, like, why should you look? If you approach a woman and she seems interested, cool. Y'all talk, y'all get to know each other, whatever it ends up being, cool. But if she's like, ew, get away from me, you say ew back, shit, you ain't all that. And then they get mad when you say that. They want to tell you no and then wonder and then want you to chase, even, and then complain about you and then shame you for chasing. This is the psychology of women. Oh, if I tell you no, oh, you just walk the fuck off. But oh, why do he walk off? He should be trying to chase. Oh, you got your goddamn mind? Why do they think like that? Oh, you shouldn't just take no for an answer. Then it will be called stalking and creep behavior. See, this is what I don't think these women be paying attention to what they're saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, we don't want no controlling, but be controlling. No means no, but then when you say no, you want them to don't take no for an answer. I think women need to pay attention to what they're saying. This is why I'm going to forever say women need the most work, because they're walking contradictions. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all want. You don't know what you want. It's confusing. And so instead of men trying to chase this confusion, they're like, nah, we going somewhere else. We can't do it. We can't do it because
now let's go back to gender role.
Y'all don't know what the hell y'all want. And I don't blame them. You can't keep operating like this and thinking men are just supposed to chase this. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. And I just think, once again, women got to get it together. Y'all got to get it together, because ain't nobody with sense, common sense, and dignity and pride and standards and love for themselves are going to put themselves through this foolishness. You know, and then it end up not working for you anyway. You go through all of the fuss for them to end up waking up one day and saying, oh, I don't feel that this relationship serves me anymore. I'm out. I'm leaving. I feel empowered to leave. I packed up my stuff and I found me an apartment and I'm out and I feel good about it. What did the man do to you? Oh, he didn't do anything. He was really a nice guy, but I just don't feel like he was for me. Then here come God. God told me, or, you just need to get up and leave. And he's just not your person. And these are not batshit crazy people who think like that. Oh, one day you just felt that this is not serving me anymore and I'm out. And you leave this man and no explanation, no nothing. He's sitting there confused, thought he was doing everything right, but you still left him. And y'all think men want to be subjected to this foolery? And y'all don't see nothing wrong with y'all? Y'all don't see that y'all are the common denominator? And that you're the problem, that y'all have let feminism, society, the bonnet crew members of society hype y'all up and push this foolishness that y'all been brainwashed to believe this foolishness, and then you wonder why men don't want to approach you? Y'all got to go back to the drawing board. Y'all got to go get some fixing. Women got to go get some fixing, because it's not all the men. It's not all the men. Y'all got a lot of things to work on, and you refuse to do it. So when you refuse to do it, you're going to end up by yourself. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's diabolical, to say the least. Let's move on, y'all. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Thank y'all. Actually, the likes are up. I appreciate it. Got 100 people watching. We got 103 likes in the building. Thank y'all so much. Child, let's get into this. Here we go.
Now let's go back to gender roles. Do you think gender roles will take us back to like the 1960s? When you say gender roles, first of all, define what you mean by gender roles.
By gender
What's
roles,
your opinion, your idea of a gender role?
gender roles is certain things are specifically for the man to do, certain things specifically for the woman to do. So, for example, the man taking out the trash, the man fixing the car, that's a man's role.
Right.
The woman cooking, the woman cleaning, that's a woman's role.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just like if, let's just say you and I were a couple. If we step outside, it's my duty to walk on which side of the road, the side of the street.
You're supposed to be near the curb, and I'm supposed to be on the inside.
And why is that?
Because you're the man and I'm the woman.
And I'm the protector.
Yes.
That's my role, protect and provide. Ain't nothing wrong with having that as a role. If we go outside and a robber approaches us, it's my job to defend you, lay my life on the line for you. I'm supposed to do that as a man.
Right.
That's not a woman's job. I wouldn't expect my woman to step up in front of me. That's my duty.
Okay.
Now, with all of this modern feminism, which was started by a lesbian, that got them thinking a woman could do what a man could do. She could jump up and fight like a man can. No, you can't. Stay in a woman's place. Let the man be the protector.
So, very hot topic. I see where you're coming from. And I kind of feel like feminism did cause a little setback. However, I feel like with the gender roles, if you say that gender roles have to come back into place, it's going to that's just like saying, once you say it, there's no going back on it. So once we say that, then that's going to do you not think that's going to wipe away feminism?
Modern feminism needs to be wiped away.
You don't agree with my
It was terrible.
Okay.
So modern feminism came into play in the late 1960s, like around 1969, 1970, with a woman named Margaret Sloan.
Right.
She founded the National Black Feminist Organization. She hated men. All of the time where we see feminism, even when you go back to the 1800s with Elizabeth Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, they were white women who were racist, and their argument was with the white man. That had nothing to do with black people.
Right.
They didn't even like black people. They didn't even want Sojourner Truth to be a part of the movement. So you got racists and you got women that hated men starting a movement, and then you got modern women jumping on the movement. That makes no sense. Leave that alone. That got nothing to do with us. We need to love each other, understand one another, and move forward. That modern feminist movement is trash.
Make some noise. I'm going to change gears a little bit. During a past interview, you said that the removal of black men from the family assisted with tearing down black families. So this is all public knowledge. You know this, I know this, I'm sure everybody in the room knows this. Yet the numbers have not increased with black families. Why is that?
The number's not increasing as far as what?
As far as the man in a household, marriage, two-parent households. We'll start there.
Because what they did worked. What you're saying, the time that they started the removal of black men out of the household with the man in the house law, where they literally rewarded women for kicking men out. They wouldn't give you government assistance if they found evidence of a man in the house. That came around at the same time where they started mass incarcerating men. Black men. Shortly after that, you had the war on drugs in the 1980s where they started incarcerating, locking all our men up. So they've been at war with us, locking us up. We're rewarding our women for kicking us out the house.
I don't want to cut you off. I understand that, but my thing is, now we know, but the numbers still are not increasing. So why do you think it's still like going down?
Because nothing's changed since they put that into play.
Well, I mean, because it's indoctrination. It worked. It's brainwashing. You've indoctrinated the women into believing that, so now it's on autopilot. They got the indoctrination. Is built into their brain. This is what they believe, and now on top of that they're working, and they say that they're making their own money, but as an adult, that's what you're supposed to do. They don't want to. They want and I say this all the time. A lot of these women, modern women, want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women. And they've taken this mentality on, and they really wholeheartedly believe that this is how it should be. They are still looking for a traditional man. Even though they are modern women and they boast about being able to work, they don't need a man, they can pay their own bills, but they don't want to share in the financial load in modern society. They still want the beneficial aspects of a traditional man, while the man shouldn't expect the benefits of a traditional woman. Bottom line. That's really it. They don't want to go back. They don't want to cook. They don't want to cook and clean. They want to work, but they want to work at their own leisure. They want to feel like they can go to work and they will work, but they don't want to feel like they have to. So they want to have a man as their backup. You there taking care of all the bills. They can go to work, but they want to brag about not having to do it. It's just the weirdest shit ever, y'all. Excuse my French. It's just weird, y'all. It's just an amazing, weird phenomenon to listen to this foolishness. So most women who work, have money, been taking care of themselves, they don't want to do it anymore because they have to do it, and everything is everything is dependent upon them. So you want a man who makes more than what you make to come in, take the heavy load off of you, even though you're claiming you're an independent woman, you don't need a man, but you still want a man to come in, take off the heavy load, allow you to work occasionally, make your own money, keep your own money, while he comes in, pay all of the bills, and continue to give you this lifestyle that you created for yourself now. You created a certain lifestyle for yourself that had nothing to do with this man. You don't know what his lifestyle is. If he makes more money than you, then maybe he's built himself up. He does not have the lifestyle that you have, nor does he want that, but he has a lot of money. But he's supposed to forego his lifestyle to acquiesce to yours, follow your lead, come in, pick up the pieces, continue the process, keep allowing you to take as many trips as you want, work as much as or as little as you want, pay all of the bills, because that's what a real man does. Take care of you and whatever kids you've created by Pookie and Ray Ray, right? He has to come in and be this man, be your knight in shining armor. Come in and do everything, continue to keep the party rolling. Do everything that you've been accustomed to, that you create for yourself, no matter how expensive or unrealistic it is. He has to continue that lifestyle you created for yourself, and because you feel like it's a flex that you created this lifestyle for yourself, but you don't even want to maintain it because you only wanted to show and prove that you're capable of being an independent woman and you can do it for yourself, but you don't really want to do it for yourself. So he got to come in. He got to get a woman who is an independent boss chick who don't really need you but wants you, and who could leave you at any time. He has to come in and take on all of this, and you don't even want to cook him a meal. You don't want to be a housewife for real. You want to be a city girl outside doing your own thing. He's supposed to just say that's what it is in 2026. These women are not traditional women, even though he wants more of a traditional woman when he's making all the money, paying all the bills, doing all of this stuff for you. When he has options to choose what he wants, he's supposed to accept a single baby mama who's a boss chick and made good money and not expect her to be what he really wants her to be and just take her on. This is what they're asking men to be. And this is what men should expect and want. When we know most men want just love, a more traditional woman, a woman who's going to be at home, loving, submissive, respectful and loving, and wants. And then half of these women don't want no more children. So you can't eat. What if you're a man, you don't have no kids? Or what if you want more children? You can't even expect kids from her because she don't want to be laid up in the house pregnant and barefoot and cooking and clean and taking care of kids. She don't want that. She's already raised children. She don't want to be looked at as less than, only relegated to the household. She still want to be her independent boss chick self. But you as a man, you have to downgrade yourself, because that's what you would be doing. And you have to accept that this is the modern woman of 2026. And you got to give it the program when you have more options than she does, because most men ain't going to go for her. So if you want to be with her, you gotta make all of the changes and the sacrifices when you have options. But this is what these women, this don't make any sense, y'all. And when I hear women talking about they're not going to settle, child, I think y'all are looking for the men to settle. Because that would be a man settling for you. When he can do so much better. And he don't really need y'all. Because he got all the money that he can go get him a nice condo place or whatever, take care of himself, don't have to take care of you and your expensive lifestyle. He got his own way of living and he can afford it. And he could live good. He don't need no woman. And if he wants sex, I'm pretty sure he can get that. But he don't need to be committed to you and take on all of your responsibilities and add more stress to his life. He don't have to do that. And I think that's what women didn't calculate. So now all you can do is say, oh, they're sassy. They want something in return. No, is that sassiness or is that being realistic? Let's continue. Okay, I don't know why it's not, let's see. Why is it not playing? Let me pull it back up, y'all. Hit the like button. I don't know what happened to the clip. Hold on. Try to put it back up. Oh my God, where is the clip? Shoot. One second, y'all. If you're coming into the building and you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and just hit that like button, y'all. Let's see. Where did it go? Bear with me, y'all, please. Hit the like button. It disappeared? Jesus Christ. Let's see.
This is.
Hold on.
This is.
Hold on, y'all. Please bear with me. Bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to pull up the right one. Because I don't know why it's not playing. Shoot. Hold on.
Now let's go back to.
Lesbian.
Do you not think that's going to wipe away feminism?
Modern feminism needs to be wiped away.
You don't agree with my.
It was terrible.
Okay.
So modern feminism came into play in the late 1960s, like around 1969, 1970, with a woman named Margaret Sloan.
Right.
She founded the National Black Feminist Organization. She hated men. All of the time where we see feminism, even when you go back to the 1800s with Elizabeth Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, they were white women who were racist, and their argument was with the white man. That had nothing to do with black people.
Right.
They didn't even like black people. They didn't even want Sojourner Truth to be a part of the movement. So you got racists and you got women that hated men starting a movement, and then you got modern women jumping on the movement. That makes no sense. Leave that alone. That got nothing to do with us. We need to love each other, understand one another, and move forward. That modern feminist movement is trash.
Make some noise. I'm gonna change gears a little bit. During a past interview, you said that the removal of black men from the family assisted with tearing down black families. So this is all public knowledge. You know this, I know this, I'm sure everybody in the room knows this. Yet the numbers have not increased with black families. Why is that?
The number's not increasing as far as what?
As far as the man in a household, marriage, two-parent households. We'll start there.
Because what they did worked. What you're saying, the time that they started the removal of black men out of the household with the man in the house law, where they literally rewarded women for kicking men out. They wouldn't give you government assistance if they found evidence of a man in the house. That came around at the same time where they started mass incarcerating men. Black men. Shortly after that, you had the war on drugs in the 1980s where they started incarcerating, locking all our men up. So they've been at war with us, locking us up, rewarding our women for kicking us out the house.
I don't want to cut you off. I understand that, but my thing is, now we know, but the numbers still are not increasing. So why do you think that's still like going down?
Because nothing's changed since they put that into play. You still got women who will go out, get pregnant by a Pookie or Ray Ray, knowing he ain't shit because they know they get government assistance. They don't care if he there or not. They only make $15,000, $20,000 a year. They know he ain't going to take care of the kid, but they know they got that government assistance to lean on. And so it's too many of us still relying on government assistance instead of getting a family, a black nuclear family, black man, black woman, black child, planning a household, planning a family, planning a pregnancy. They're just going to rely on government assistance. You keep relying on the system, they keep you locked in the system. You can't get out of it.
Do you think they should do away with government assistance?
That's a hard one because some people really need it. There's some people who, I come from humble beginnings. My parents wasn't on government assistance, but both of my parents were maintenance workers. My father ended up, getting investments and doing certain things later to be successful, but he never relied on that. My parents worked hard and stuff like that, but I know some families who really need it. But I think what we need to do, I think people need to plan their families. I'm tired of people having...
Not plan the family.
Yes, people need to plan their families, and you need to save money, have a certain amount of money saved before you even have a kid. I'm tired of seeing these struggle families and these struggle babies, and y'all broke up before the baby even get here.
Child.
I'm tired of seeing these baby showers and
But I mean, listen, he's not lying. That's what people do. Like, why is it that in our communities it's a shocker? Planned family. That's what people do. They go to college. Why other groups do this all the time? I don't know. That's why I be like, damn. In our community, it's real jacked up. It's real jacked up and backwards. Other groups do that. They say, hey, they go to college too. They go to college. They get married. Oh, we're going to plan our family. We want to have a baby around this time. Hey, when you're going to college, maybe when you're finished, they do plan their families. Why is that such a shocker? They plan their families. They talk about how many kids they want. They do it in a way that is feasible for them and how, because with the woman, when she's pregnant, she may not be able to work the full time. So they calculate how much money they want to save before they start having a family so that, calculate the fact that she's going to be out of work. Not that she doesn't work, because a lot of successful families, both people work. So they calculate the time that's going to take for her to have a baby and she want to be at home with the child and raise the child. So they calculate. People do that all the time. So we should say, basically, plan your families. Why is that a shock? That's a shock in the Black community because they've never heard that before. Other people do that. Latrell M, thank you for the super chat. Says it's interesting how often women misuse the word sassy. Right. It means confidence and high energy, not being unmanly. Right. But we know a lot of the people who use those terms don't really know what the terms mean. That's like when it was popular to say that men are misogynistic. And then when women start getting asked what's the definition of it, they started crying. Remember that? When these podcasters started asking these women, can you define the term misogynistic? They started crying. They started looking in the wind and they want to pull up their phones and they're looking to their left and to their right. And then they just start break down crying because they don't even know what the terms mean that they're using. So it's not shocking that they're using these terms because they don't know the meaning of them. They're just saying it because it's trendy and the Bonnet Crew Society members told them it was okay to use it. So we know they don't be doing it. Thank you, Latrell. I appreciate you. So yeah, let's continue.
The father not even there. It's just a woman taking pictures by herself with her sister and the aunties and stuff like that. We need planned families, have some financial literacy, plan it, save some money, prepare for the child so that you can invest in your child. There's too many people that think having a child and just putting food on the table and closing their back is the end of it. Right. What about the resources? What can you provide your child? Right. Can you get that child to play a sport? Can they play an instrument? Can they learn an extra language? How do you invest in your child? What can you provide for your child other than food and water, the bare necessities? You got to do that. You literally have to by law. Right. What else can you provide for your child? Prepare for that child instead of just going out, having a good night of sex, getting pregnant, and then raising the next drug dealer or gangbanger.
Right. I love it. Very well said. Very compelling conversation. If you could begin a quiet movement to create lasting courage in the community, I want to know which of these you are focused on. So, guys, I pulled up some things that really are damaging in the community. And if you could pick one of these things to make change, what would it be? I have financial literacy and ownership, reading and education, mental health, and the relationship dynamic between men and women, AA, co-parenting. What do you think will immediately bring change in our community?
The family and co-parenting.
Okay.
It all starts with that. It all starts with the family. That's why I talk about relationships so much. If the black man and black woman can't get on the same page as far as dating, then how are we going to get to the family?
How do we get on the same page not to cut you off? How do you think we get on the same page? And do you feel like it's the woman or the man? Because last time I checked, but some of y'all are just a little, y'all want to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 girlfriends. And yeah, what do we think?
As far as dating, who's more off key?
Yeah.
It's the woman.
You think it's the woman?
Yes.
You think the woman, not even black or white, you think the woman is the reason why the dating dynamic is off key?
Yes.
How?
You ever see Kevin Samuels show?
Kevin who?
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
You ever see Kendra G?
Kendra G, I love Kendra G.
All of these shows expose it. Like I said, you got to be objective on the dating scene.
Okay.
Men are more honest when they know that they're not up to par. If you take a man that's making $20,000, he knows that he's not high value. He knows he's not high in the market. You could take a woman right now who's 200 pounds that got 2 kids by 2 different dudes, and she thinks she the shit.
But why do you keep bringing up a woman and her kids, though?
Because your kids drop your value.
Okay, but what about the man who got 2 or 3 baby mamas?
So that drops his value, too.
But
the man will know it drops his value. Women won't know it. Women will argue that their kids don't drop their value.
I think it's on both sides. It's on both sides.
Oh, no. The evidence is in our face. You see who argues it more.
Who argues it more?
Women argue against it more.
Women.
Yeah, it's very obvious. And they use that as a metric to try to convince men to accept them when it just doesn't work the same. There are men that women deem as high value, right? And they have kids and multiple baby mothers, but these women still will go after those men. So they know that they go after a man who they deem high value and he's worth it. They'll go after him. They don't care how many baby mamas he has. They don't care how many children he has. They'll still go to be with that, try to be with that man. But on the flip side, the women who are out here looking for these men with multiple babies and multiple baby daddies think that a man should look at them the same, and men just don't. They don't, because they know that the responsibility is going to be on the man. No matter how you try to flip it, and make it work for you, it's just not, because you still expect that man to be the sole financial provider. So you still want him to provide for you and your kids. That is a lot to have to do. So it's not the same, because women will accept a man with multiple baby mamas and children. Why? Because she still can benefit from him. You know what I'm saying? If she doesn't have any kids and he does, a lot of them don't care, because he's still able to provide for his kids and provide for her too. That's the difference. See, the man is expected to be the sole provider. So if you come in with three, 4 children, 3, 4 baby, he has to look over that and be expected to take care of you and your kids and do the most. So it's going to cost him more to have to do that. It's not going to cost you anything if he has kids, because you're not expected to take care of him and his kids. That's the difference, the main difference. And then on top of that, men don't want to have to come in and take care of somebody else's children. Because
A man would.
But they don't though. But men don't admit that.
They do.
I've never seen a man admit that. And
I've never.
first of all, let me just say I don't have kids, and I am literally waiting until I get married. There's no ring on his finger, so when he steps up, then we could do something. But yeah.
Yeah, it drops. You got to be honest about everything that drops your value.
But the thing about it too, even though there are some women who say they don't want men with kids, if you don't have kids, but that man is what you want, and he has all the qualities that you want, and if he have 2 kids and 2 baby mamas, more than likely these women will accept him because he can change her life. It's all about what he can provide for her. So he can change her life, and she can still have children with him. So she'll still have children with him. And a lot of women will put to the side or not really care if he has other children because he still can change her life. If he has the money, the resources, he's the man that she wants to be with, she's not going to care if he has kids because she knows that she's going to give him children. He wants more kids with her. He's willing to marry her and commit to her. She's not going to care about all of that. But men do care about women who have multiple children, multiple baby daddies, because the responsibility is going to be on him. Bottom line, let's continue.
In certain things, women are more likely to take on a man that has kids than a man is to take on a woman that has kids.
You said you said women are more likely to take on a man that has kids.
Yeah, than a man is to take on a woman who has kids, if he has none.
Okay.
So if the woman has no kids, she's more likely to take on a man who has kids than a man with no kids is to take on a woman with kids.
But even still, where we are in our community, everybody has kids.
No, they don't.
A large majority of them have kids. So I don't think that the final argument should be that you have to admit that you drop your value because you have kids. I think that the final argument should be, yes, I have kids. I do have some shortcomings, or I do have some things, but let's communicate and respect each other so we can get on. I feel like respect is going to be the deciding factor on fixing the dynamic in the relationship world. Because without respect, you don't have a relationship. You can have 10, 15 kids, and your man or your woman can still respect you. Y'all loyal, y'all communicate. You know that you're taking care of this woman's kids, and y'all still in the same house. But if you don't have respect, it's not going to work anyway. There's no relationship without respect. Because respect brings loyalty, it brings communicating, it brings y'all coming together to build something. So if there's no respect, we're already fucks.
Yeah, but that's not the final argument. The final argument, the whole point of this is accountability and being able to take accountability and be real about a situation.
Okay.
Just like we seeing right now with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Her lying about having a doctorate, her lying about being a therapist, and taking no accountability for it. Just thinking she could get on the internet because she's pretty and got a nice body, shake her ass in your face, and make you forget about how she lied and played in people's face. And then we talking about something serious, people mental health. She sit up there and outed Offset for going into her DM saying he might need help with therapy. That's something very serious.
Right.
She took no accountability. As a woman, men are trained to take accountability. It's part of being a man. A man got to stand up in your face, and otherwise he's a coward. We look at men and we say, be a man. When you're younger, you fall down. My nieces, even sometimes I'm guilty of it. My nieces, they fall down, I cater to them. My nephew, you better get up. The world ain't gonna hold your hand. You're a man. Be a man, toughen up. It's not the same for women. That's why Dr. Cheyenne Bryant can lie like that, and then people still come to her defense. Show me the male who did the same thing, and then people just came to his defense, lying about something that
Derek Jackson.
He didn't lie about
He cheated on his wife.
That's another thing. And who's his audience? Women.
Women, okay.
Women not holding him accountable. His main audience is women who just want to hear him repeat what they want to hear, not holding him accountable.
I mean, look, no lies detected. He's telling the truth. But once again, there's no accountability when it comes to women. They want what they want when they want it, and they don't care about anything else. And it's a selfish mentality, and that's part of the reason why they're being held back, why men are not taking them seriously, and they're still acting as confused as if they don't know why. But I think once again, women are the ones, in my opinion, that need to make the most adjustments. That's it. If you're trying to really get something, build something with a man, you have to acknowledge where you're wrong at, how you've contributed to the downfall or the demise of relationships, how you haven't learned to do better. You have to do better. You can't just sit back and think that you can just move the way you've been moving and think that now a man just supposed to accept you and give you the world. No, it doesn't work like that. And that's really the part of the problem, in my opinion. Major Gauge Podcast, thank you for the super chat, says Black women have a serious maturity deficit. Shaking my head. For real. I agree. And I mean, until that changes, it's going to only get worse. And once again, just for the record, I'm never saying that men are perfect and they don't have issues. No, I think we all have issues, but I think women are more in denial about their issues. They're more in denial about what they need to fix. And they just want men to acquiesce to them and make all of the adjustments and changes for them, because honestly, women think that they're the prize. Women think that they are beyond reproach. They don't believe that they have to or that they should make changes for a man, but they want men to make all of the changes for them. It's a hierarchy. Women think that they're better than men. They don't think that they should have to make any changes. And because they feel that they're above men, they think men have to do all of the work. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of women are making. And I think that's why men recognize that and don't want to do it. And they're moving the way they're moving. And so until, once again, women realize that, oh, hey, y'all are not special. You're not above reproach. You're not better than men. That, you wanted to be equal to a man, but y'all think y'all are better now. And you don't think that any of this applies to you is part of the problem. That's all. I'm not saying women are horrible. I'm not saying that women are the worst. No, I'm saying women need to make changes, and you need to see yourself. And you need to start understanding you're not better than men. That you need to be willing to work with the man just as much. You just can't expect everything from man without giving anything in return. Men are not accepting that. And so y'all got to realize that this is the modern dating now. Y'all realize, women have changed. We've done it. And so have men. So y'all need to factor that in. You can't just keep walking around thinking that you're the prize. You can say and do whatever you want, and a man just supposed to be beneath you, and you tell him what to do, and he's supposed to jump and do it. You just say how high he's supposed to do it. No, that is some bullshit. That's what that is. No, that's not how that's gonna go. Night Call 411. Thank you once again for the super chat. Night Call says family courts often leave fathers with less custody, so they spend less time with their kids. So a woman won't have to deal with the man's kids versus a woman that usually have full custody. Exactly. Common sense, basic knowledge. That's just what it is. But a lot of women walk around and act as if they don't understand this. But that's what it is. But as far as I can recall, women didn't really care about a man's body count. Women didn't really care if he had a child or two or kids at all, if he's the man that she really wanted to be with. The women don't care about that. They're only bringing it up now is because men are saying, hey, we don't want a woman with these kids because the responsibility and the onus is going to be on us. And we don't want to have to deal with your baby daddies. We don't want to be put in that position, especially when we don't have any kids. If 54% of men out here don't have children and the majority of women do, then that's a problem for the women, because men aren't just accepting children as, taking on the responsibility of a stepdaddy the way they did back in the 1980s and the 90s. So it's a different world. And women refuse to accept that, but you want men to accept that y'all are different women and that y'all are modern and you don't need them, but you want one. Make it make sense. Thank you, Night Call. Once again, I appreciate you. So yeah, it's just what it is. And this is why the men brought up, what is it? The financial celibacy is what they're calling it. Men are saying, hey, we're not spending our money on these women until we know that you're serious and you really want something for real, because a lot of these women are out here trying to finesse men and get their rent paid and all that. And that's all they're looking for. So you can't blame men for moving the way they're moving or shame them because y'all giving them reasoning behind the way they're moving. You've given them reason to move the way they're moving. And so once again, it's all about accountability, accepting your fault in this, accepting why men are moving away. And if y'all don't want to change, then it's just going to be what it's going to be. So yeah. And I just think, once again, I think, to be honest, women are the ones who have a lot to change. I said it a long time ago, And I say it again and I stand on it. I just think they don't see themselves and they've been used to getting their way and they don't recognize anything other than that. Let's move on to this next clip, y'all. I want y'all to check this out. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Here we go.
Why did you compare a stay-at-home wife to slavery?
I can't see myself slaving in no house all day long for somebody. What do you gain from it? I'm only going to do what's going to make me happy.
You currently work right now and you're okay working for your boss and getting a paycheck. You don't call that slavery, but you call a woman working in a home, taking care of the children, nurturing her children, cooking for her husband, cooking for her kids, cleaning her house. These are all of her things, but you call that slavery versus your boss.
No, if you're
real quick, listen. But what I'm saying is this, the job that you're currently working, you don't own the product, you don't own the name, you don't own the building, you don't own anything at all, but you're working hours, putting your time and energy and sweat into something. To do something for someone else and create them wealth, but you don't even own it. Versus a stay-at-home wife, everything she's doing, she owns it. The children, she owns. The husband, the house, they own it. You say that's slavery, but the 9-to-5 woman working isn't a slave? That doesn't really make sense.
Listen, no lies detected. You know, and so once again, when I say women are the ones who need to make the most adjustments, I believe that, and I'm going to stand on it because it's the truth. And so a lot of these women look at taking care of their children and taking care of their households, providing a healthy environment for their family is slavery. You can't make it up. They really have bought into this idea that is what that is. They've been brainwashed to believe that that's what it is, that you taking care of your kids, making sure your kids are good, and, you know, taking care of your household for your family and for your man, that's slavery. But the man going out here and working hard to provide for said family and making sure that y'all have maintain the roof over your head, make sure you maintain a healthy lifestyle for you and your children, and they're, you know, working hard for his family. That's what he's supposed to do. But it goes back to gender roles. There are certain roles that women expect a man to do, but when it comes to the woman, he shouldn't expect that. And that's not a delusional way of thinking. A man is expected to provide for his family, and now they want full soul provision. So now you want a man to be able to pay all the bills, take care of all the expenses, all of the trips, give you this soft girl life, and you can't do the basic roles that are designed for you as the woman in that relationship. So you don't want to be at home cooking and cleaning for your family and catering to the man that's taking care of all of the financial load. You don't have to worry about a bill. You don't have to worry about any of that. And that's slavery for you. But what is that for him? He working himself to the bone, going out, having to deal with whatever he got to deal with to make sure his family good. But that's what he's expected to do. But as a woman, you're not expected to cook and clean and do the basics to maintain your family at the house. You want to be outside and do whatever you want to do, and he's supposed to still go out and do all the working hard to. This is some crazy shit, y'all. I just, every time I hear it and see it, I can't wrap my brain around it. I really can't. And I just think, once again, we're living in a modern society, and these women are thrown off, baby. Cooked, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. You can't make it up. You can't. It's delusional, baby. It's mind-boggling to me, y'all. I swear to God it is. This is what they want. You want a man, he got to pay all the bills. Oh, because I could never go 50-50. Okay, what do you think the purpose of a man paying all the bills is for? What if you go back to where y'all say it was so bad, you know, where women were just relegated to the house and they didn't have bank accounts. So what do you think that was for? For the women who were in the household, which y'all say slaving, and they were so miserable. But what do you think that man was going through? Y'all never considered how, and this is another thing too, and then I'm gonna wrap up. A lot of these women don't consider what men have to go through at all. I said this before. They don't consider the hard work that men have to do, how men have to maintain, what men have to go through to do what they do on a daily basis. You don't consider what that man has to go through at all. Y'all just think, oh, it's just working and oh, that's the bare minimum. No, he has to work and maintain this. Y'all don't understand what maintaining means until you're doing it. This is why y'all don't want to do it no more. This is why these independent boss chicks are looking for a man to take care of it all, because y'all are tired. You're stressed out. You're tripping and you're complaining because you stressed to the max. But you want to jump ship. You want to abort your responsibilities because it's too much for you to handle. And then you would think that you would have a better understanding of what men have to go through, because they have to do it and they can't complain. They can't just jump ship and abort that responsibility. They have to continue to do it. But y'all are tired, crying and slobbering all over social media about having to maintain and do everything. But you think it's easy for a man who is dependent upon and that's his role as a man and that's his responsibility to man? You don't think that it's hard for him? And they do it without no complaints. You would think that would open your eyes up to what men have to go through and why having a supportive, loving woman there, taking care of the other aspect of the union, why you don't see why that is would be a supportive role and something that at least this man has some peace when he come home. At least he has a good woman and a wife and his children to take. So at least that he don't have to worry about that. Y'all don't see that part, but you don't care. Oh, just that's what he was supposed to do. But what are you supposed to do? Nothing. But expect him to give you the world and more and not even consider what he has to go through. Like, this is bad. But this is why men are saying they're trying to go overseas and try to do something. They're trying to do something else because this type of mentality that they're getting in this country, in the West, and in the West, they're tired. The men are tired. 87 Stephen X, thank you for the super chat, says, happy TGIF DeeDee, keep up the good work. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for the super chat. Baby, this is crazy. Logic overrules emotion. Right. Oh my God, Jamil. Cooley a band, but he be on point sometimes. Oh shit. Thank you, Jamil. I almost missed that super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Baby, it's crazy. Veteran 0831 says, DeeDee, they are making adjustments, but they are the wrong adjustments. You can't tell them anything. Right, exactly. Right. But yeah, because it's a delusional world we live in, y'all, and you can't make it up. And every time I see stuff like this, it's just laughable. Thank you, Veteran 0831. I appreciate you once again for the support. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, and you know, it's laughable, but it's not. It's very serious at the same time. But you know, and yeah, I'm a pick me because I think the way I think, and I don't see it the way the Bonnet Crew Societies of America see it, but that's fine. I'm just trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to get y'all to see the reality. Actually, I'm not bashing. I'm actually trying to help. I'm actually trying to show y'all a different way so that you can get what you say you want. And so, you know, you can take it or leave it, but if you keep going the way that you're going for the women who think like this, because I know all women don't think like this, but for the ones who do, it's to help you. I'm not bashing you. I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm not the Bonnet Crew. I'm not a part of the Bonnet Crew society members. I'm a woman who understands the nature of women, and I understand how men think via my husband. And I'm also telling you, hey, I had to learn some shit too. Excuse my language, y'all. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm also understanding where y'all are coming from, but I understand that it's not all men. You got to understand it in all men. Just because you've had bad relationships or negative experiences with men, don't put that on all men, because all men aren't like that. Do I think men are perfect? Hell no. Do I think men need to make changes? Hell yes. But women also too. And I think the problem and the difference that where I'm coming from is that a lot of women are in denial. They don't think that they have to make changes. And I think if you're a woman who thinks like that, you're setting yourself up for failure. So I'm not coming at you in you know, I'm trying to get y'all to realize some things and change your perspective a little bit and understand that all men don't move like that, and men aren't perfect. And if you know that you're coming to the table with some deficits and you don't have it all together, be understanding of where this man is coming from too. Because if both men and women in the Black community were raised by single mothers who didn't fully understand where they were and they made some mistakes, y'all both have issues. It's not just, oh, he's bad and you good and he's supposed to accept you, even though you know you have flaws, but you don't see that as a means for you to make changes. But you see him, he has to make all the changes, and you keep pointing at him and not seeing yourself. That's going to put y'all at a deficit. This is why men don't want to deal with y'all, because nobody wants to be put in a position to where they're always made to be the bad guy, even if they're trying. And y'all are putting yourselves on pedestals like you don't have to work on nothing when that's far from the truth. So I'm looking at reality, and I know how women think. I know how women move. I know how y'all be doing, what y'all be doing, see? And I'm not going to excuse that behavior. I'm saying stop the behavior, change it. You're not perfect. And stop deflecting onto these men and expecting these men to be perfect. When y'all are both flawed, come to the table with some understanding. I'm not saying you got to accept anything, but if you come across a good guy and you want a good guy, work with him, just like you want him to work with you. Stop expecting the most from somebody and you're not willing to put anything in, because that's not going to work. And it's not working because we're not dealing with the old steps daddies, simps from the 80s. These men that y'all saw y'all mothers manipulate and talk down to and treat horribly. He just sat there and took it and raised all her damn kids. These are not those men. They've learned from that behavior. They realize that's not the behavior they should have. They realize that simping ain't really helping them. They realize that that's not what they want. So they're doing better. So women, y'all got to do better too. You can't keep expecting men to acquiesce to your poor behavior and make excuses for it. Y'all are not perfect. So you shouldn't be looking for a perfect man. If anything, you should be understanding, empathetic, and say, hey, let's work together. If he's a good guy, he's trying. If you believe you're a good woman, then you should try too, goddamn it. No, y'all walk around here like y'all are perfect and y'all don't do no wrong when you got 4 baby daddies and you talking like a man and smoking like a man and sitting like a man and talking like a man. And you don't see nothing wrong with that, but you want him to treat you like a princess, but you acting like a goddamn man. Make it make sense. Successful MD says everything is perfect except for my hairline. I know you. Oh my God. Baby, you a fool. I want to see the hairline, baby. Okay. All right. Hell, tell the truth, shame the devil. Thank you, Successful MD. Baby, it's crazy though, y'all. It is crazy. So, it's just a hot mess, and we see it all unfolding. We see why a lot of these women are struggling to get men, because they don't want to change their behavior. They've adopted this idea that they're perfect, and a man has to be perfect too. They don't have any flaws. They don't need to change a goddamn thing because all the men are bad. And oh my God, y'all gave babies to all these bad men. Now you want a perfect man. And he should be okay with who you are and your babies and your children and all that. And then he got to pay all the bills because you ain't going in with nobody. You've given your all to Pookie, Ray Ray, Ronnie, Bobby, Rick, and Mike, Pooch, Hall, everybody. And now, because you did that and you chose to do that, now he has to, level up and be everything that you need him to be and more. And you will not settle for less, honey. Men are either living or surviving right. They only want good men when their best years are behind them. Facts. Walking around like a queen, but you ain't got no king. Oops. Straight up. My grandmother cooked smothered chicken, scalded cornbread, mustard greens, purple hull peas, sweet potatoes, and tall glass of sweet tea or red drink and tea cakes. I know that's right, baby. And then look, half of these women, you're walking around with dirty fingernails, stinking BBLs, wigs and weaves and just walking around a hot mess thinking y'all are queens, and you don't know how to cook. You don't know how to do anything. All y'all want to do is eat seafood and be outside, taking trips. You don't have time to be at home. Don't want to be at home. Don't want to create a great loving environment for your family. You're just trying to be outside and be on the gram and show people how you living and pretend like you got money and get attention from other men. They don't know how to be at home and you don't know how to be a woman for a good man, period. If you met a good man, a lot of them don't even know what that entails. They don't even know which way to turn. This is why when they meet a man of standards, they lose it. They don't really know how to, they feel intimidated by him. They don't know what to do with him because you're not used to that. You're used to entertaining the wildebeest of the men. Or whatever. You're entertaining a certain type of pookie and get that attention and they cool with it and that's it. That's why it's all the transaction because you only know how to present transactional behaviors. You don't know how to be a wife. You don't know how to be a good woman to a good man. They don't know how to do that and you don't want to because that's boring and that's mundane and he do the same thing. Go to work every day and pay all the bills, but that's boring to you. So you want to be outside. So a lot of these women don't even know what to do with a good man if they had one. That lifestyle is boring. You want to be outside, twerking all over the place and having that type of fun like that. You don't even know what to do with a good man. So, it is what it is. So when you hear these women asking for that, they don't know. You get one, you don't know, you're going to mess over him. You're going to treat him poorly. You don't even know what to do with him. So, men are moving in a different way now. And the women are still complaining. They're still, men don't approach. Why should they? Why should they? Ask yourself, why should they? After all y'all said, all that y'all put out there on men, why should they approach you? These men are better off by themselves a lot of times. And y'all know I don't really like that. I would advocate for relationships and marriage. I want to see people married and building something together, but we can't do that. And y'all can't do that if the women are not on board. And if the women aren't looking to take on the responsibilities or learn how to be what men need them to be. You can't expect all of this from a man. Y'all gotta be realistic. You can't expect a man to give you the world when you don't bring nothing. You can't say I am the table and you don't have legs to stand on. You don't have anything that you don't have the tools to be what this man needs, but you can't expect something for nothing, period. That don't work like that. Y'all can't think that y'all are queens and all this and you don't have to do anything. That's unfair. Y'all can't think that these men have to do all of this that you asking for and you don't have to do nothing but say, I'll support you. Oh, yes. I'm going to be his support. In what way? Because the things that the men are asking for, y'all don't want to give. And the things sound pretty basic to me. So if y'all can't even give the basics, why should these men go out of their way for you? Night Call 411, thank you once again for the super chat, says, how are passport bros any better if she Americanized after 3 years? She could divorce you just for the green card and you'll still have to pay child support. This is why they be saying, don't bring them here. You need to go over there. Because a lot of those women are, looking to be Americanized. They want to follow what they see the women doing here. So that's a tricky situation. This is why they be saying, don't bring them here. You go live there and live that lifestyle and be a part of that culture, then bringing them here. Because then they're going to start want to be independent women, looking at all the women, listen to the women saying, oh my God, I don't want the bare minimum. You have to be careful with that as well, because you could get, some of these women, they use you for that green card and they want, the American dream. So you got to be careful with that as well. You gotta, it don't matter where you go, you got to still vet these women and try to see what type of time they're on. And even if you're going over there, you really got to make sure that this woman has the right intentions, because we've seen situations where these women use these men for the green card, get here, and then they leave. I had a video, I need to find a video where that woman married this guy, but she didn't spend no time with him. She only wanted to get that green card, and she wanted to come here and she wanted to go do her own thing. But he tricked her ass, and he didn't file the paperwork. And when he told her, she was pissed. So you got to be careful no matter where you go. Bottom line. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate you once again. They are the empty table. I know that's right. But it's just a hot mess. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. Happy Friday to y'all. Listen, I may be back tomorrow, y'all. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on so we can go over some more hyena BS. I got some more stuff I want to share with y'all. So make sure you have that notification bell turned on. Make sure you guys hype up the videos that are already posted on the channel. Make sure you go watch those videos on the channel, y'all, and hype those up. Leave a comment just to let me know it's real. I may be back tomorrow, you guys. If y'all want to see a live tomorrow, put a 1 in the chat, because I'm only going to do it if y'all want me to. If I'm doing too much, let me know. But I have some more things I want to share with y'all that I want to cover. If you want a live tomorrow, 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat for a live tomorrow. I do have some more content that I want to share that I didn't share in this particular live. But if y'all want to see another live tomorrow, 1 in the chat, 1 in the chat. I'll try to come in a little earlier if I can. But if y'all want a live tomorrow, 1 in the chat, 1 in the chat, y'all. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, everybody who supports the channel. I love y'all. I love your responses and your engagement. I appreciate y'all for that. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me, y'all. Cause baby, listen, it's a lot. But I appreciate y'all for supporting and being here. That kind of motivates me to do more. So I try to do more as much as I can, y'all. Y'all know I have a big family, and I'm balancing, and I think I do a pretty damn good job trying to balance, bringing y'all content along with, all of my other obligations and what I have to do in my home. So I appreciate when y'all show up. I appreciate y'all for giving me feedback and all of that. I really do. I love it. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for everything that you do. I appreciate y'all. See you later, Gerald Hood. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as well. Thank you. So shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Stay tuned for more. I will be back for you guys. Make sure you are ready to chime in and give your thoughts. And let's see here. Veteran 08 says, I'm okay with the woman being the table because when has a table made us whole? Thank you, Veteran 0831, once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Thank y'all for the super chats. I appreciate it. It's Eric TV says, after LeVar Ball, whose wife of nearly 30 years, Tina Ball, left him, I'm good on marriage, on my Paul arc. Damn. I think I heard that story as well. But that's crazy, y'all. But see, that's why I say I get it. I'm all for marriage and building families, but I also understand where men are coming from based on what women have put out here and what women are doing. So yeah, thank you, It's Every TV once again. Major Gauge Podcast, thank you for the super chat once again. Now is a great time to find a wife because birds are everywhere. So good girls stand out. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you, Major Gauge Podcast. Thank you so much for coming through with another super chat. I appreciate you so much. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the super chats. Thank y'all for supporting. I appreciate y'all. You have no idea how much I appreciate y'all for that. All right. But thank y'all once again. Thank you, Box Benji. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for that. Thank y'all so much for the love. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you have your notification bell turned on, so you'll get the notification what time I go live. I'm gonna try to be on here a little earlier, but make sure you guys still have that notification bell turned on so you won't miss the notification. All right. So thank y'all once again for being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening, you guys. I will see y'all really, really soon. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll see y'all. Bye. I'll see y'all later. Mwah. Bye.
It's DeeDee's reactions. It's DeeDee's reactions. I hope you enjoy the show. Like, share, subscribe. You know it's a vibe. Like, share, subscribe. 'Cause you know it's a vibe. It's DeeDee's reactions. Tell a friend, it's DeeDee's reactions. later.